Hawk curse. Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Timbo the Wizard Show. I'm Timbo the Wizard, and today we're going to be diving into Netrunner with DJNrrd. He's going to be showing me the ropes, and hopefully we're going to be able to break some ice. How are you doing today, DJNrrd?
I'm alright. So I was pretending to mime on my stream to your words because I'm an idiot. I'm doing good, Timbo. I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Looking forward to showing someone this fantastic game.
Yeah, I watched that tutorialization, that video that you sent me, and I was like, this seems really cool. I was kind of expecting it to be like, it's like one of those games where you come in with a pre-built deck, and I was expecting you to kind of be building it along with it. But I'm excited either way. It looks cool. It looks really neat.
Yeah, the other kind of deck builder.
Yes. Do you have any? I'll go ahead and switch the scene region so that way we can see what's going on in the game. Do you have any advice on which deck I should open with?
That's a good question. Well, I was gonna backfill you a little bit on some history.
Okay.
Because very interesting time to come into Netrunner right now. History-wise, Netrunner is a game invented by Richard Garfield, who, if that name rings a bell, that's the person who invented Magic the Gathering, amongst many other games. And it was released by Wizards of the Coast in the 90s as a collectible card game. With booster packs and rare cards and all that collectible card game nonsense. Didn't do brilliantly. Magic the Gathering was the beast that ate everything in the late 90s. But then in 2012, Fantasy Flight Games licensed the product from Wizards of the Coast and tied it into their Android cyberpunk universe and released it under the living card game format. And what that meant was that every box, every expansion had all the exact same cards. So what you bought was the same as what everybody else bought. So everybody had access to the same cards.
Oh, that's really cool. So instead of it being like, because I know like a lot of TCGs nowadays are, I mean, you could basically consider them pay to win, right? Because depending on how much money you dump into buying booster packs or just buying specific singles online, you could theoretically dump like $400 or $500 into an incredible deck that's all just, normally it would be RNG. So that's really cool that they've like kind of almost leveled the playing field. That's neat.
Yeah. And then weirdly, just as I really got into it, like around 2017, and time's gone really weird in the past year or so.
Oh, yes, indeed.
We're in the 50th week of March.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But somewhere around 2017, I really start getting into the game. Fantasy Flight were start getting into rotation and were rotating out. The old core set had gone. They'd made a new revised core set. They got rid of a bunch of older expansions, and they were moving on. And I was like, "Oh, this is a real cool time to get into it." So I was like, backfilling all the expansions and everything. And just as I bought them all, they went, "Oh yeah, no, we're not renewing the license anymore."
Oh no!
And the game died, quote unquote. And
that was 2017.
That was around 2017, 2018, around about there. Hello, Hawk has just raided in. Hello.
Oh, hello. Greetings.
Welcome.
Maniacs. That's so good.
Yeah, I know. I'm basically a wrestling mark. Yeah, well, welcome in. You can watch us both on multi-stream. I just put the link in my chat there for everyone watching multi-stream. But yeah, so 2017, 2018, Fantasy Flight lost the license, possibly due to Cyberpunk 2077. Netrunner's a term in that. Nobody's sure
Right.
what was going on. But basically, a bunch of the fan community, the players that were out there, got together to create Nisei as a sort of like overseeing body, trying to keep the game alive, keep tournaments going, and started printing their own cards or designing their own cards, which they do as print and play essentially, and doing rotation and stuff. And we are a few weeks away because, like, all of last year, like a lot of things, all of last year, everything went to pot.
Right.
But we're a few weeks away from something they're calling. Oh God, I forgot what they're calling it. It'll say on the Nisei website that I'm looking at. Yeah, system update, which is going to be a sort of a whole new base set of cards. They'll probably sort of like cycle out some of the ones from their 2019 base set that they made, bring a few old ones back in, and just giving the card pool a bit of a reshuffle and a basis to move on. So this could be a really interesting time to get in now, as there's going to be new cards, a new meta,
Right.
and new things going on.
Hey there, Hawkward. Thanks for showing up. Hey, appreciate you. No problem. So that's really cool though. So it's like almost like the developer, whomever it was that was actually making the game, they ran into some form of trouble, and then the fans were like, well, we really like this, so we're gonna breathe new life into it. That's really, really cool. That's a neat like full circle arc, how it's like it's kind of come back and now it's really being supported by the fans and the audience. That's really neat.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the website that we're going to play it on, jinteki.net, had been about for a long time, been about through the time when FFG had the game, and it was always a little bit grey in terms of its legality. I mean, it's still kind of grey as is now, but the people running that site are working with Nisei, so they're like, really pushing on with getting that experience on the website better. Really getting it, obviously, in the past year to run the tournaments online,
right?
Because we can't go and meet up in the friendly local game stores for the
tournament.
And stuff. And for a lot of people, the big tournament scene was where it was at, and very interesting. Whereas, like, say, Magic the Gathering and other collectible card games might have had cash prize tournaments, never cash for Android Netrunner. Like winners, the winners of like the World Series, the World's Championships, would just get like really cool, unique cards and play mats and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Like collectible stuff, but never money. It was always just for like cool stuff and street cred.
Right. More bragging rights than anything.
yeah, bragging rights. So this is Android Netrunner, a game that pits wily runners against the big mega corporations who run everything in life. It's set in the future. It might sound familiar.
Yeah.
It is honestly set in the future, where we've got a handful of different factions. There's the fun part of it, like the core set, even way back in 2012. The core set had cards from every faction, so that you could have some really cool replayability and find a way of playing stuff. So I suppose my question for you, Tim, is: do you want to run and be the wily runner taking on the megacorps, or do you want to be the megacorps?
Well,
maybe running might be a good start.
I was going to say, what would you recommend in terms of a first game? Would you recommend runner?
I think probably runner.
Okay, because it feels like in terms of the corporation, like you have a much wider scope of things that you need to worry about, while the runner is just like get the thing, get it,
get in there, find the agendas.
Exactly.
And of the runners, you got 4 main factions. 4? No, 3. Hang on, I've forgotten. 3. Sorry. There's four corps.
Right, right.
You got three main factions. You got criminals. I mean, all runners are criminals. Breaking into computer systems is against the law.
Yes.
But criminals very specifically do it for crime-based reasons, money often. You have the anarchs, who generally have a more political bent to why they're doing stuff. Sometimes they just want to trash everything. Sometimes they're like a little bit more nuanced in their politics, but generally they're just trash monkeys. And then you've got the shapers, who just do it because they can. Because they've got beautiful tools, and there is a phrase, shaper bullshit, where you just do some weird stuff. But I would recommend, out of the basic decks, so when you sign up to gintechie.net these days, as a new user, you should find you've probably got like 7 decks there, I think.
Yes, I see the three core runner sets and then the 4 core corporation sets.
For corporations, yeah. I would recommend that you take Gabriel Santiago, consummate professional.
Okay.
Who is a criminal and a little favorite of mine. And before we actually get into a game, if you sort of like clicking them, you'll see all the cards that make up his stuff on the right, and you can see your user identity card. Everything in orange. If you put your mouse over it, you should get like a pop-up come up with a larger card. So if we look at Gabriel Santiago, the actual identity of him there, we can see that there's a lot of information on here about who Gabriel is. But notably, there is a special super secret power that Gabriel has, which is the first time you make a successful run on HQ each turn, gain 2 credits. That little diamond icon, that's credits, that's your money.
Right.
So
yes, this guy was he was the man from the tutorial.
There you go. Yes, it's been a long time since I actually watched that video. But yeah, he's a guy that I do like a bit of Gabe. And yeah, you're encouraged to run HQ there. You'll get some money back for doing it on that.
I like his flavor text. Of course I steal from the rich. They're the ones with all the money.
Exactly. There's lots of really cool bits of flavor text. There's lots of really cool history. A lot of the designers from FFG really want to make a point of inclusion. So there's entire expansion sets that are just based around like South Asia, entire expansion sets based around Africa, and bringing in like Afrofuturism styles in there.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, so many sort of characters of color that you can play on there. Quite a good handful of queer characters in there as well, including 2 or 3 canonically trans characters now.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
On there, so like the inclusion's been like a big part of the game since Fantasy Flight brought it out in a few years. Gabe is just your everyday cyborg. Nobody knows.
He's your bog standard cyborg.
Cyborg. He's got a metal arm for reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, but he's got like a really, really good toolkit. Now you've got there 4 main types of cards in your groups. You got your events, and like any other game, an event card is something that you play, you do the text on it, and then it goes to your discard pile.
Sure.
On there. As you look at all those cards and you put your mouse over them to see them, there's a number at the top left. That's the cost in credits to play those events. Some of the interesting ones that you've got are things like Inside Job, which allows you to bypass ice. That's a really cool criminal thing.
That is
just
good.
Like, why bother dealing with this piece of ice and trying to break it? Why don't I just go and just hee-ho, just like sneak your way around it?
Sure.
You've got cards like Legwork, make a run on HQ. If successful, access 2 additional cards.
Oh wow.
So you get to see more of HQ again. Criminals are kind of very HQ based. Sure Gamble, that's your money card.
Oh yeah.
You've got the other 3 cards are the things that you're going to play and keep on the table. They're going to be your rig.
Right.
that are going to give you the extra things to help you in the game. So your hardware, your HQ interface, or your console Paragon, which will help you learn. You know what I should be doing is I should be showing these to my viewers as well.
On the Paragon card, what does the little plus one microchip thing mean?
Okay, cool. So your programs, which you have over at the right,
Right.
take up memory.
Oh, okay.
And you start the game with 4 memory units. Paragon gives you +1 memory unit,
Oh, nice.
as well as all the rest of the text on there. It's a lovely little card, Paragon, for its cost on there. Yeah, your programs then, you've got over the right, you've got, they all take, next to their cost to play them, they've also got like a cost in memory.
Right,
Most
right,
of them are 1, but if you look at Sneak Door Beta, that actually takes 2 memory units.
Oh, wow, but that's really good.
That's really good. That's another little icon to look at there, the little clock style icon.
Yeah, what does that clock icon mean?
That is a click. Everything in this game is time and money. So it's clicks and credits. You get 4 clicks each turn, which you can spend on the various things that you want to do.
Right.
And
the corporation gets 3 clicks, right?
3. Yeah, corporation gets gets a very different experience. But yeah, your programs, most of them, Abanail, Crypsis, Damara, Fairy, Femme Fatale, are all various different types of breakers. And if you look, say, at Abanail, named for Frank Abanail, the grifter.
I know that guy. Frank Abagnale Jr. They made a movie starring Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio. That movie's excellent. I love that movie.
I have not seen that film, but
it's good.
Yeah, they made. There were 3 cards, but the third one isn't in the set for it. But that's Frank Abagnale. But that says to break a code gate subroutine.
And so each of the programs is kind of focused on a different form of ice that might
on different. Yeah, you get the main ones of code gates. So Abanail does code gates. Damara does barriers. Fairy and Femme Fatale do sentries. Fairy is the really cheap one, but you have to trash it after you've used it. Femme Fatale is the expensive one that allows you to put permanent bypasses onto pieces of ice. Very, very, very handy. But then Crypsis is your AI one, which can be used on any type of ice.
Oh yeah, just break ice subroutine. That's really good. Hey Sloops, this is Netrunner, Android Netrunner, a deck building card game where you play as either a corporation who is trying to guard like your assets and your agendas, or you play as a Netrunner who is attempting to hack into the corporation and steal that stuff. And whoever gets the most agendas first wins. I'm playing with DJNrrd, and he's giving me some tutorialization. He's showing me the ropes.
And we were talking about this card, Crypsis. Now, as an AI, it usually means you've got to put like a lot more effort into getting it to break stuff. This one, it says, when you use Crypsis to break ice, you've got to either remove a virus counter off it or trash it. And there's an ability to spend a click to put virus counters. So you've got to spend time putting virus counters on it to make sure you don't trash it.
Oh, cool.
So you could invest a little bit more, whereas it might just be cheaper to put Tamara down and use that, because that doesn't have those things.
And so with programs, their programs are specifically for breaking ice, but the program needs to have a higher value in the bottom left-hand corner than the ice value does.
Yeah, we will talk about that. Almost all of them have, some value there that says to up your strength.
Right.
Pay credits to put your strength up by an amount. So you should always be able to boost your breakers to match the ice out there. But that's where keeping control of your cash flow is the good thing. But not every program is an icebreaker. You get stuff like Sneak Door Beta here, which gives you an ability to run on archives, but then treat it as a successful run on HQ. So I've spent all my time building up my protection on the HQ, and you just come through back.
Cool. And so what happens if you, like, normally if you were to make a successful run on the archives, what happens in that context?
You get to see all the cards that trashed.
Oh, okay, cool.
There are certain keywords for certain things, and we'll take you through that when I start a game in a second. We'll just quickly go through. You've got your resources as well. Resources go on the table and give you like extra things, often like cash. So Armitage code busting is something that it has 12 credits on it when you install it, and you spend a click to get 2 credits off of it.
Oh, right.
Which is better than spending a click to get 1, which is your normal action. So it's often ways to get like little bits of extra money or extra card draw with Earthrise Hotel. John Masanori is a weird one because it can tag you. We haven't talked about tags yet. Catty Jones is a classic one for really working on your money on there. So they're ones to watch out for. I am going to create a game.
Okay.
And I've realized that I can do it from the thing. So I'm going to take the corp, DJNrrd. It's going to be a core experience.
And I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen region back just so nothing sensitive shows up on stream.
I'm going to make your password protected.
Yeah.
And the password's just going to be password. Nobody jump on. So yeah, you should see if you go to the play section, where you can see all the lists of the current games. You should see it private DJNrrd's game.
There it is.
And you should be able to join that, and it should ask you for a password, which should be password.
Hacker voice, I'm in. Okay, and let's go switch back. Okay, cool. And I need to select the deck, and we will go with Gabriel. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Yeah. Just say you can see there's lots of games on the go on the side. And you can see there's even some people there like, new player, format, core experience. The community is generally really, really nice. So if you put yourself like beginner, new player, something like that, and say that you want a core experience game, so only the core set stuff, you'll find there'll be people who come and join. They'll be really nice. They'll be really helpful most of the time. You get the odd arsehole, but most of the time people are really nice.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was taking a look at it earlier, and I was like, man, this website's kind of bumping. There's like games on the go pretty constantly. This community. It's cool.
Okay, we're now in a game, and we've drawn our opening hand of cards. So I'm just going to say, you can see at the bottom left, you've got like some little trackers there that show you how many clicks you've got,
right? How
many credits you've got, how many agenda points you've got. You need 7 agenda points to win.
Right.
Agendas vary in points between 1, 2, and 3 in value. So you could potentially win the game off 3 cards.
Right.
Off just finding 3 agendas if you're lucky. And the size of my deck will determine how many points of agendas there are in the deck. I am forced to put a certain amount in. So
interesting.
When you look at your card, Gabriel Santiago, there's some numbers at the bottom right, 45, 15.
Yeah.
The 45 is your minimum deck size.
Okay.
And for a runner, you probably want to keep your deck pretty trim because you can get to stuff faster.
Yeah.
The 15 is the amount of influence you can spend on getting cards from outside of your faction, but not going to bother with that.
Oh, so so you could be playing as like a criminal, but you could take up to 15 cards from the Changer or the Anarchs.
15 influence cards. So cards are worth a different value of influence. Like a really powerful card might be worth 4 or 5 influence.
Oh, how interesting. Oh, that's cool. So it's like almost like a little bit of a self-balancing thing as well. How neat.
Yeah. So that's the deck building part of it. For the Corp, they've got the same thing, a minimum deck size, 45, with the influence available to them as well. But with the Corp, that 45 cards has to have, or if you've got between 45 and 49 cards, you have to have 20 or 21 points of agenda. If you go up to 50 cards, you have to have 22 to 23 points worth of agenda, and so on and so forth. So you'll find that corporations, a 45 minimum deck size, they'll put it up to 49 because we don't want the agendas to come out so fast.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll go and find them.
And the corporation, they get benefits from having the agendas as well. Like if they complete the agenda, they get some other ulterior benefit too.
Agendas, they'll have text in them that usually when scored will do nice things for the corp.
Right.
Sometimes when stolen, that's been known to happen. But yeah, what else have you got down the side? You've got clicks, credits. You've got a tracker to show you how much memory units you've used.
Right.
Link we haven't talked about, but sometimes I can start traces on you. And link, which is that number at the top left of Gabe's card with that little 2 squares locking into each other.
Oh yeah.
That is your link. And we'll talk about traces as and when we come to traces. I'm sure we'll find them. But basically, it's something you got to put money into. But your link kind of ups your base on there. Agenda points. Tags are a pain. If you're tagged, I know where you are. I can start trashing some of your stuff. Bad things can happen. You probably want to get rid of tags. The brain damage is a particular type of damage. There's 3 types of damage. Net damage, which is kind of like meant to be damage taken over the internet. Meat damage, which is like actual real physical damage. They've sent the boys around. And brain damage, which is very obvious, and brain damage reduces your hand size.
Oh, like your maximum hand size.
Yeah, your max hand size, which you got
nasty.
there, which is currently 5. Sometimes there are anarchs who'll do it on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, because there is an amazing anarch card called Stim Hack, which gives you loads of money to do a run, but at the end of it, you've got to take some brain damage.
Oh, interesting.
All of those damages randomly flip a card out of your hand. So cards in your hand are hit points.
Cool. Okay.
If you ever take damage that is more than the amount of cards that you have in your hand, you're dead.
Okay.
You're flatlined. So that's a way you can lose the game.
Right.
Other than me scoring 7 points worth of genders. I can lose the game if ever there's not a card in R&D for me to draw.
Right.
So if you can just keep me going and stop me from scoring agenda somehow, there's a possibility. It happens sometimes. But yeah, so that's some stats there for you to keep track of. Below that, or above that, your scored area. And we've got our cards now. What else is saying?
I'm assuming "quote unquote" grip is your hand.
Grip is your hand.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, we might as well talk about these special names. Grip is your hand.
Right.
For me, my hand is HQ.
Sure.
And it's represented by my identity card on the table where you see the big HB. That card there represents HQ as a server. And when you run on HQ, as well as getting your 2 credits, you get to access a card from my hand at random.
Cool.
So that's HQ. R&D is my draw pile, which is the one next to it with 44 next to it. Archives is my trash pile.
Right.
You have a stack as your draw pile and a heap as your trash pile. And then the cards that are installed on the table for you are the rig. Mine will be servers and ice, which we'll see. But yeah, we've got our opening card of hands, and we've got an option now to mulligan, which means that
I'm aware of the mulligan. Yes. I think I want to keep my hand.
Well, as ever in this game, the corp decides on everything first. The
corp really?
Goes first. Yeah. The corp goes first in deciding on whether to mulligan or not. The corp goes first in turns as well. So it's always the corp first. The mulligan, if you don't like what you've got, the cards will be shuffled back into your deck and you will draw a new hand of 5 and you're stuck with them. That's the Android mulligan. It's not that you can put them to the side and draw another 5 and then shuffle them back. No, these get shuffled back in as well. So what are the things that you might want to consider in your opening hand? I would say for the runner, probably money, things like Sure Gamble, Easy Mark, maybe Catty Jones, or draw. So Earthrise Hotel, anything that says draw a card,
Right.
or draw multiple cards. The sort of things to really get you going fast into your deck and trying to get yourself set up.
Sure.
For the corp, you probably don't want what I've got currently, which are 2 agendas in hand. I don't want that because that's a liability. So I am definitely going to mulligan. I'm probably looking for cash and ice when I start. So I'm going to mulligan to see if I can get anything a little bit better.
So it's really interesting because it's like the two different like speeds at which you want to play. Like the runner, they want to gun it through their deck as fast as possible to get all the good stuff out. But the corporation, they're like, I think I'm going to slow play this. That's really interesting.
Yeah. Now you get the option keep or discard. You kept, I see. We'll see our new stuff on there. So let me see what I've got there. Okie coke. Gonna hit start game. This is the point where everyone says good luck, have fun.
Good luck. Hey there, Kid Funk. How are you doing today?
And yeah, the corp goes first every
goes
time.
First every time.
And Tadella there in chat with GLHF, as is classically done on here. There you go. GLHF in the chat. Yeah, the chat here. I can't spell. Has
nice
a log
icon
of everything we've done as well, so we can see that. You can see I took a mulligan. You kept your hand. So one of the major differences with the corp is that every turn I draw ice. I draw a card.
Right.
I might give away what I drew. Hello, Jessica EA. How you doing there? The corp draws a card every turn. Nothing you can do about that. So every turn I've got more and more cards coming to my hand, and I only get 3 clicks, whereas you get 4 clicks to do things. You don't have to draw if you don't want to.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm gonna.
Is it 1 click for me to draw?
Yeah. So you'll have what will appear in front of you when it's your turn. I've got one now where it shows me the actions that are available to me, most of them costing a click to do.
Right.
There are some actions that don't cost a click, and we'll discuss them when we come out on there. So my thoughts here, looking at my hand, looking at the stuff I've got, like I say, that I wanted, if possible, to draw into money and ice. And so I'm going to put a piece of ice on HQ because I know that you are Gabriel Santiago, and I know that if I let you run on HQ, I'm just giving you money. So I put a piece of ice in front of HQ, and you see how it's gone sort of horizontal in front of my identity card.
Right.
So that means when you run, you kind of come in vertically from my point of view, because I'm at the bottom of the screen, from the top down. From your point of view, from the bottom up. And I can stack cards on top of each other. That first one didn't cost me anything to install. If I wanted to stack another card in front of it, it would cost me a credit. If I wanted to stack a third card on top of it, it would cost me 2 credits, and so on and so forth.
Is that
so it cost me money?
Would that be in addition to the normal credit cost of the ice as well?
I haven't paid anything to install this ice. It's only the position that costs me to install it.
I see. Oh, but then you have to do the res thing, right?
Yeah. At the moment, it's face down. It's called unresed.
Right.
Which means that you don't know what it is.
Right.
I know what it is. For me to flip it face up, A, you have to be coming for me. And B, I have to pay an amount of credits to flip it face up.
Right. And you can choose not to and just let me come through if you either don't have the credits or you don't want to do it in that moment.
Exactly. Sometimes you sort of like you garner an attack down one way, trying to make the corpse spend money, so that then they've got no money for you to try and attack a different way.
Right.
So what else am I gonna do? So that is that, and
Man, I can just already see like so many different ways of playing this game, and like it's like I just scope.
There is the really, really loud. Where's can I don't
Oh
wanna
yeah,
mute the
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was doing a little bit of testing before the stream, and I was like, it is ear-shatteringly loud. Like
it is. Oh boy, let me just turn the volume down in my settings. 'Cause I don't know how to turn the volume down in update, and please refresh your browser. I'm not going to refresh your browser. I'm in the middle of a game. So yeah, I've put some ice there. Oh, thanks for the follow, Jessica EA. Jessica EA. Don't recognize the name, but obviously a fan Netrunner, because she thinks it's great to see more teaching streams.
Oh, that's cool.
It's great to bring people into the game. Rusa's coming! Oh my day. Rusa, a friend from the Final Fantasy streams, is coming in with a wee party. Hello, Rusa. Hello, Potato. I am
Hello.
teaching Timbo the Wizard how to play Netrunner. You can watch us on multi and watch both our streams and see what we're doing.
Yes.
But I'm going to be spending a lot of time with Timbo, taking them through the ropes here. So, yeah, but I'm glad to see the raid. How you doing, Rooster? How you doing, Potato, and all the gang?
What Final Fantasy game were you referring to?
So Final Fantasy VII, I'm a massive fan of.
Oh, really?
And I will always watch people doing blind playthroughs. And there's Valborn is the streamer who's playing it, and yeah, just her little community there, Rusa, Potato, Falcon, just all of us, like all big fans of Final Fantasy VII, watching someone go through it. I just always love seeing like someone who doesn't know anything about the game suddenly break down in tears, because it's such an emotional journey for them.
Not to veer away from Netrunner, but I'm curious. What are your thoughts on the remake, the remaster?
I haven't played it past the first mission.
Okay.
I've got it. I am going to play it at some. I'll probably play it on stream. I'm just going to move my PlayStation 4 up here. I know I need to play it, Rusa.
Sorry, didn't mean to put you on blast there a little bit.
Oh, fine, I got Rusa now, just trying to shame me for it. Anyway, we're going to play Netrunner. Okay?
Yes, Netrunner.
So, I have placed 2 pieces of ice in front of my central servers as well. HQ, R&D, archives, central servers. Sometimes there's it's a keyword that sometimes pops up. And then I'm going to use my last click to gain a credit. You can always in this game spend a click to gain a credit or draw a card, both of us.
Okay, cool.
And then that ends my turn. So I hit my end turn button. Now you should see some differences there. There you go. And now you can see you've got a bunch of buttons of the things that you can spend your clicks on. And that includes draw a card, gain a credit, make a run, remove a tag.
So I think to start, I'm going to play click Sure Gamble, which is going to net me 9. Yes. And then I'm going to play this, the bank job. So
bank job. Nice.
So whenever I make a run on a remote, which you don't have any currently, but I think that's good prep for future. So I'll get some extra good stuff from that. And then how many clicks do I got left? I got 2. And a run is 1 click as well, right?
A run is a click.
Okay.
Now, one thing I would say, I haven't talked about what makes HB kind of interesting. Hasbiroid. The canon for them is they make androids.
Okay.
And sort of mechanical workers, whereas the Jinteki maybe make cloned workers. So there's a bit of
Ooh.
clones, droids. Either way, they're taking your jobs.
This dang androids took our
um,
Jeeves. Hey there, Bushi. Yes, this is my first time playing Netrunner, and DJNrrd
uh,
is nice enough to show me the ropes. Yes,
yeah,
welcome in.
fantastic. Cookhead, I see in chat. By all means, drop. Let me permit you to drop that link for a new player Netrunner Discord. Permit Cookhead. There you go. You can pop that link in there. Yeah, please. Cookhead looks to be someone who can answer a lot of questions for my chat about this game. So please crack on. Thank you very much for that. Has Bioroid a lot of their ice are Bioroid ices, and as such, stronger together. This particular identity gives +1 strength to Bioroid ices.
Right.
But Bioroid ices, you can often spend your clicks to get through those ices
Oh,
to break the
interesting.
subroutines.
Okay.
So with HB running earlier is possibly a better thing to do, because you can use your clicks to try and get through if you really need to get in.
I see.
Um,
Would you recommend making a run without any programs on my end, or would you probably recommend waiting to have at least one or two
I
programs out?
mean, sometimes the only way to find out is to run. I mean, I've got
Right.
6 credits here, so the question is, what can I res for 6 credits?
Right.
Probably nothing particularly damaging.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but
Hmm.
it's whether you think, and I say running means that you're forcing me to spend money,
Right.
or consider spending money,
Right.
and the consequences of running are varied, but it's whether you can take them. The worst would be damage of some sort: net
Right.
damage, meat damage, brain damage. HB tend to focus on brain damage. So
Okay.
the
Okay.
question is, could you get by that? Are the cards in your hand really important to you, or do you think, well, you know what, I've got more, so it doesn't matter if I lose them, if I
Hmm.
do lose them?
Okay. I think this first turn of mine is just gonna be a prep turn. So I'm not gonna run this turn, but I'm gonna play this, which will I think net me more cards. Um,
Yes,
which seems
really good.
that seems strong. Yes. And then I am going to I think I'm gonna play a program. So this one I don't have enough money for, so I'll play the other one instead.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Fairy, it's free. Like I say, love Fairy, lovely little thing. Sentries can be the really nasty ones, often
Yeah.
that do a lot of damage sometimes. So yeah, the fact there that it costs nothing to break a sentry subroutine, you're only paying to boost your strength, is really cool. But yeah, you do trash Fairy at the end of it. But
Right.
hopefully, you won't run into too many sentries.
Right.
But yeah,
Feels like a good
that's
like one and done drop for sure,
oh,
especially on turn one.
yeah. But now also I know you've got that, so now maybe my sentries might not be worth so much to me.
Right, right.
You
Interesting.
know,
Yeah, because
so,
I'm getting this kind of vibe that it's very much about knowledge, right? And you have all this like hidden knowledge away from me, but all my cards are played out in the open, right?
spot on. It is about my hidden knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and you having to try and find it out. Cool. Falcon. Yes, I did finish Read Only Memories. It was brilliant. It's all up on my YouTube. Links down there to my YouTube if you want to finish playthrough. One of my favorite games. Not so much point and clicky, but really, really good story. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to start my turn. I'm going to draw a card, as always happens. And let's see here. I think I'm going to draw another card. So, pro tips: if you're thinking of drawing cards, probably better to do it first,
Mm.
because then it might, because if you're looking and you're going to, oh, I want to do that, I want to do that, and I want to do that, and you've got to click spare, and then like you do all those things, and then you got the click spare, and you're like, I'll draw a card, and then you draw a card, and you're like, oh, but now
Right.
I've changed all my plan. Probably draw first is probably the better thing to do. And number two, don't run on your last click, because if bad shit happens, like you get tagged, then how are you gonna deal with all that stuff?
Right.
You end the run, you end your turn in a state where you're tagged, and if you're tagged, one thing I can definitely do is trash your resources. Cost me 2 credits to do.
Oh, that's pretty nasty.
Yeah. So you don't, never run in your last click, where you can avoid it, unless you know you're going to be pretty safe. Right. And with HB, probably run on your first click, so you can spend your clicks on breaking their ice. So I'm gonna those pro tips means I'm gonna draw with my first click, and see what I get. Okay, there's something. So I'm going to.
I think I just realized that I might have actually put myself into the danger zone too by only having 1 card in hand.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that can be a problem if I've got a way to throw damage at you out of turn, and there are. Jinteki is the faction that you've got to worry about for stuff like that. They tend to be of the factions, like I say, Hasbiroid tend to be about taking your clicks, and being time efficient and taking your time and making time for ourselves. Wayland tend to be about money and sending the boys around. NBN tend to be about tags and advertising and stealing your money by advertising and stuff. And Jinteki, who are the clone people, tend to be about spiky damage. Often you can walk into a Jinteki server, but the cost of it is a lot of damage.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Am I gonna... You know what? I'm just gonna gain a credit there. Now, I've created a remote server.
I see that, yes.
There's a card in it. It's naked. There's no protection on it. What could it be? Am I being cheeky?
Just thinking of that. Just thinking of that meme from Mad Max. That's bait.
Yeah, it is. So what it could be one of 3 things. It could be an agenda, and I'm just being bold and brazen. And I'll just put an agenda out there just because. It could be an asset, something that generally sort of does good for me in the same way that your resources do good for you. It could be an upgrade. You can only ever have 1 asset or 1 agenda in a server. You can't have both. It's got to be one or the other. But you can have multiple upgrades in a server on there. So yeah, that's there.
Okay.
So you could run on it if you wished.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit start turn. I draw 2 because of my Earthrise Hotel. Yes, and then
amazing card. And that was free draw for 2 cards. It's great.
Yeah, it's really good. I think I am gonna go for the run on the server because I've got this bank job, and it synergizes with accessing remote servers.
It does. I mean, basically, I have given you credit.
Right.
Here. So let's start the run.
So
if that's
server
what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to take you through the steps of the run.
Sure.
If there were ice in front, you would be approaching the ice. And that would be where I can make a decision on whether I wanted to trash it, to res it, or not. Thank you for the follow, Cookhead, and thank you so much for. I keep forgetting one of my cameras. Thank you so much for being our rules judge in chat.
Yes, Cook It. Thank you for the follow.
It's cooking in both. Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, were you approaching some ice? Now would be the point where I would choose whether to spend the money to flip the ice and so on. But you're not, so you're coming straight in and you're approaching the server. I've got like a little window of opportunity here
Okay.
where I could potentially spend money to maybe res some of these assets and stuff, because the resing of assets and upgrades don't take a click. There's like magical windows in between clicks and at certain points during runs where you can do stuff that doesn't cost a click. So I could do that here, but I'm not going to. So I've got a thing that says action before access, so I can do stuff. I'm going to say no further actions.
Okay.
So now you commit to accessing the server.
Yes, I see current phase, approach server, access server.
Yeah. So you've committed to accessing the server. You now get to see what this card is, and you get the you get the question actually here because of bank job.
Right.
Do you want to access the cards or do you want to take the money off bank job?
I think I will instead take the money off of bank job, and
That is fair.
I'll just take all of it, because now I'm just gonna have the money and I'm not gonna have to worry about having this choice in the future, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes absolute perfect sense.
Okay, let's do that then. So now I got 8 buckaroonie, so I got 12 full credits.
I gave you 8 credits there. I mean,
Yes.
I probably shouldn't have, but you know, well, the hell, it's your first game, huh?
It is indeed. With that, let's go ahead and. So if you don't have anything in your archives currently, can I make a run on it anyways?
You can make a run in archives, yeah.
Okay, then in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Oh, I clicked and dragged.
Oh, there it is. Forcing me now to go, oh, now I'm going to cover archive. Yeah, if you want to use the ability on that, click on the card itself.
Right, okay. Yeah, and I see make a run on archives. I will click that.
Oh, there you go. So again, I've got to now think about putting ice in front of archives. I've got this opportunity to do stuff, but I don't have no further actions.
Okay, so
and I basically, whoosh, you move over as if you've made a run in HQ.
Oh, interesting.
You've made yourself, if you look at the log, you'll see that you sneak door beta to make a successful run in HQ. You used Gabe to gain 2 credits. And we both know what card you've accessed. You've accessed Victor 1.0. So you can see now a piece of ice that I've got, which says that you can spend a click to break subroutines on Victor 1.0.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
One of them is do brain damage. One of them is end the run.
I have
it's
one
a strength
left.
3 code gate.
I'm gonna do it, I think.
No, that's it. You're not encountering it. You just have information about a piece of ice now.
Now I just know about it. Okay.
Now, you just know about it. But now you've seen what some of my ice looks like.
Right. And this is Victor 1 in your hand, or is it the ice that's directly defending?
No, it's in my hand. You've accessed that card from my hand in HQ.
Okay. So at this point, I hit no action.
Yeah.
And
there's
then
nothing. You can't trash it. Some cards have got like a little trashable icon on the bottom left.
And then I want to play emergency shutdown, which I think works, right?
It does work, but I have no resed pieces of ice. All of my ice is currently de-res, so this is not the play for using emergency shutdown. So the time is right to do it after a run in HQ. You can't use it any other time. But I have no resed pieces of ice.
I got to use it like immediately.
No, it's when I've resed a piece of ice. If you type into chat / undo - click.
Undo - click. Oh, cool.
There you go, and then drag the card back into
just to my grip.
Yeah, and that will reset everything from before you.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Cool.
So you still got the credit. So if you spent any money in any other board state changes that would have happened, would have been reset with that.
Right.
But yeah, I have no res dice, so there's
Right.
not much point in
And so
playing that
basically,
one.
that would mean that you would flip over a piece of ice that you already have, and you would have to pay the cost of bringing it out again.
Yes, exactly that.
Gotcha.
I would have paid X amount of credits to res it on a run, and now you're making me de-res it, so I'll have to pay that money again. It's a great card. I love it.
I do apologize. I'm having a little bit of issue with the Discord link, but I'll get that from DJNrrd later. Absolutely. Thanks for that. So with my last click, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm gonna go for. I don't want to run on my last turn. You said that was a bad idea. So
running the last one's generally a bad idea. You haven't got the clicks to deal with
right
any HP ice. At the moment.
So I think instead what I'm gonna do is I've got how much mana am I currently using? Only one. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this bad boy.
Okay, Crypsis, cool. So you've now used all of your MU.
Yes.
But yeah, Crypsis.
I'm full up.
You're full up, but Crypsis is something that that definitely is going to help you get through any piece of ice. But
right.
You're just going to need to spend the time, put the virus counters on it, and spend the money because it's not an efficient breaker at all.
Right. Do you think it would have made more sense, like a more efficiency, to play it at the beginning of the turn and then use a click to immediately put a virus counter on it?
Maybe, but you're still well, no, you're actually all right with money. But to be honest, most of your moves there were really, really good. Getting the sneak door beta down, getting into HQ, getting the money. Yeah. That on the whole, like a really, really good turn.
Thank you. I'm digging it because it's like it's interesting because it feels like the core mechanics of the game also kind of relate to like a narrative that's going on as we're playing. It's kind of cool. It's neat.
Crypsis just needs someone to talk to, according to Dello. Okay, so remember I said there's these sort of like special moments in between clicks and in between turns when I can do things. So I'm going to spend some money to res this card. That cost me 2 credits to res a pad campaign. It's an advertisement, and it says gain a credit when your turn begins. My turn hasn't begun yet.
Oh, nice.
I've used this little magic window that's in between our turns.
Cool.
And so I start turn, and you'll see on the log there that I start the turn with 5 credits, 5 cards in HQ, and I use pad campaign to gain a credit. And then I'm also gonna go. I'm gonna go play a hedge fund.
What hedge fund?
Which is my version of the short gamble.
Cost me
5 credits.
They're literally the same.
They're exactly the same in terms of cash. Yeah. And then I'm going to check my archives.
The flavor text on hedge fund is so good. Man.
Hedge fund, noun, an ingenious device by which the rich get richer, even while every other poor SOB is losing his shirt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's literally. Stonks.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's so relevant to what's going on right now. That's hilarious.
I'm protecting my archives because now you're quite dangerous with regards to archives. And I'm going to gain a credit. And now it's back over to you.
Okay. So now that you have this pad campaign face up, can I still attempt to access it? And if I do so, do I need 4 to trash it?
Yeah, you can run on it anytime. But yeah, if you want to trash it, so when you access the card, you get the option to trash it. But it will cost you 4 credits.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. So let's go ahead and hit start turn. I got some cards. Let's look at those real quick. That's good. How much credits I got? Okay, so I think we'll open with this.
Nice. Paragon. Lovely, lovely
Yeah.
console.
Because now I can put more programs out, and it's going to give me extra good stuff.
Yeah, first time you make a successful run each turn, you gain a credit. Look at the top card of your stack, your draw pile, and you can bottom it if you want. So you can start filtering your draw.
A little bit of cycling, which is very helpful.
Yeah.
And so if I run at R&D, what is the benefits that I get again of that? Do I get to see your top cards?
So you get to see the top card of R&D. I don't.
Oh. Okay.
So then you get information that I don't have. And again, if it's, you may trash it. If it's got a trash value, you may, if it's the agenda, then obviously you steal it. But otherwise, you're getting information about what I'll be drawing next turn.
Right.
And I won't know. When you access the card from HQ, we both know what you've accessed.
Right. And so I have this event card. Can I play it during the run, or like the event is run? Do I need to play that preemptively?
So if the event is a run, so an event card always needs a click. Okay. You need to spend a click, and you can't spend, with the exceptions of like My Ice, you can't spend a click in the middle of a click. But if the event card says make a run, then you spend that click to make a run.
Oh, okay. So it's almost like you can spend money and a click in addition if it says run to make a run with extra caveats associated with it. Cool,
yeah,
cool.
Basically, you play the event text, you follow all the stuff in the text, and if somewhere on there it says make a run, well, yeah, make a run.
Okay, neat.
Cookhead, yes, I did explain that. In the next few, I forget the dates, but yeah, the next few weeks. We're going to have the system update, and it's going to be a whole new refresh of the game. So really interesting time to get into the game. And Jonas has raided. Hello, Jonas and the Salty crew. How you doing?
Hello, Jonas. How are you doing today?
me and Timbo are playing Android Netrunner. Timbo's never played it before, so but you can watch us on multi-stream.
This is my first time, and DJNrrd is doing a great job of explaining things so far. It's my turn.
You're pulling out some power moves as well. It's great.
That's good to hear. I'm just kind of like, do all the things, do everything. Just go. Throw the card down. Let's go ahead and.
Can the Timbo's volume? Sure. I'll turn Timbo up a little bit there.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use one click to place a virus counter onto Crypsis.
Cool.
Okay. They got the DJNrrd seal of approval, so I'll do that. And I'll go ahead and I will make another run at the archives.
Okay, Coke. Now remember, you've got 2 credits.
Right.
And Crypsis is really expensive. Not only do you have to put your virus counters on,
but you also have to pay to break.
1 for 1 on strength, and 1 for each ice subroutine, which normally is pretty good, but you start at 0 strength.
Right. Yeah. So maybe I won't do that then. Maybe instead what I'll do is... I got too many things open. Maybe instead what I'll do is I will just go with... a cheeky little gain of credit and draw a card, so that way I got good stuff for next turn.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it's one of the things, as I was saying earlier, maybe draw the card at the head of the turn, but you kind of got excited about the possibilities of running.
Yes,
without contemplating your cash.
Right. It's very much like I feel like I'm spinning multiple plates at the same time and trying to keep them all going.
Yeah, it's knowing when to when to bring the new plates in.
Right.
That'll come with time, mate.
I think I will just go with we'll start with the draw, and then maybe we'll see what we get.
Yeah, maybe you get the easy mark, which means you can get yourself 3 credits with 1 click.
Right. I did not get easy mark. I got something else, but I will just go ahead and go with the gain credit for next time. The card I drew was good. It's just not good in the current moment.
Yeah, fair enough. But you know, you've got a nifty little rig there. So yeah, so I'm gonna start turn. So I gained a credit from my pad campaign, and yeah, okay, I'm going for that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna start building a new remote. So I put the ice down first.
Right.
On the remote, I can do that. I put a card in the remote. Is it an asset? Is it an agenda? Is it an upgrade? You don't know. But now I'm going to do an advance. I spent a credit to put an advancement token on there. That's how I would score agendas. I would have to put a number of advancement tokens on the agenda that are required to score it, which would either be 3, 4, or 5 in most cases.
Okay. So
to score between 1, 2, or 3 agenda points.
Right.
There are assets that you can put advancement tokens on as well. They're often traps.
Oh, interesting. So it's like so usually it's a fairly good bet that it's a oh god, I've forgotten the word.
Agenda.
It's an agenda, but occasionally it can also be it could be like a honeypot situation.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Oh man, that's really cool too because that feels very cyberpunk, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and start. So I have 1 additional MU now. I also have 3 credits and 4 clicks. So let's see what we can do. Oh, that seems very good. Okay, I think just trying to plan out my turn a little bit because I just got this cool card. I kind of want to use them. I think I'm going to use them. I'm going to start with playing Katie Jones.
Nice.
And then
Katie Jones.
Yeah.
I always forget if it's Catty or Katie.
Yeah.
I think canonically it might be Katie. But yeah, there are 2 things you can do with Katie Jones.
Right.
One is to place 3 credits onto her, and then the other one is to take all credits from her. But you can only use her once per turn. So you can put like 3 credits on this turn, and then maybe 3 credits on the next turn, and you can take them all off.
That's cool because it's like
Cooker says it's Catty.
Catty, yes, Catty Jones. Man, I love the character art too. Like, it's really good. It's real good. I think I will go ahead and store 3 on Catty, and which leaves me with 1 credit, which is a little bit of an issue. It's a smidge of an issue. So, I always have this trouble in games like this where it's like I always have trouble balancing like my literal monetary resource with like the cool stuff that I want to do.
that is always the great problem with Netrunner. It ultimately does become a game about money because if you haven't got the money to run, then I can get away with murder. But if I haven't got the money to protect my stuff, and do my things, then you can get away with it. So
right. And it seems like Gabriel's main bit is that make a run on HQ and then you get money inherently for doing so. So it seems like what I want to be doing is making a run on HQ as often as possible just to be generating income.
Yeah. You know, say again, if you make a run earlier, and I've got Bioroid Ice, you can spend your clicks to get through it.
Right.
But if you make a run, you're forcing me to spend money to res ice.
I think that is what I'm going to do because you have 11 credits right now, and I'm kind of on the back foot. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a run on HQ.
Cool. All right. So now you're running against Serve with Ice. You are currently approaching the ice. I get to choose now whether I want to res it or not. I can also res other cards that I've got installed, assets and upgrades and what have you. Or I could choose not to. If I choose not to, then you pass the ice and you continue on to the next piece of ice or the server.
Right.
But I am going to pay, and I'm going to res Enigma. So now you are encountering the ice. So you get the priority here. You get to choose what to do first.
Okay.
And if you had cards that said when you encounter ice, do stuff. This is where you would use them because you are encountering the ice.
Right.
But
And
the
so,
key thing you want to do,
Mhm.
if nothing else happens, these two subroutines, which have got like the little carriage return icon next to them,
Mhm.
these two would run, and the effects would happen in that order.
Okay, right, gotcha.
If all things being equal, nothing else happening. If you have an appropriate breaker out there, then you could break these subroutines. But Enigma is 2 strength. That's the icon that's at the bottom left.
Right.
That's horizontal. It's 2 strength, so you need to have an icebreaker that is at least 2 strength.
And it needs to be for a code gate too,
for a
right?
code break, or an AI such as Crypsis.
Such as Crypsis. So my fairy's not going to work because it's specifically for sentries.
Sentries.
Right. And Crypsis, when you encounter a piece of ice in which you use Crypsis to break a subroutine, ends. Remove 1 host. So or trash it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't actually have enough credits in order to be able to juice up Crypsis enough to be able to take down this piece of ice.
I'm afraid you don't.
No, I don't. And I also don't have enough. I don't have any cards in hand that would be able to modify or do anything as well.
No.
So I guess I just have to do. I would hit continue to encounter the ice.
Yes, you definitely hit that.
Okay.
On there. And now, it's at this point within Jinteki, you would have the chance to actually use your icebreakers if you have the money. But you're going to have to signal to me to fire the unbroken subroutines.
Right. So yeah. So I see. Let all subroutines fire. Let pass ice and continue, or pass ice and jack out. So I'm figuring I would pick let all subroutines fire because I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll click that.
And that gives me a little note on the log that
Yes.
fire, and I've got a button here to do it. Now, let's say, for example, you had 3 credits.
Right.
You could potentially spend 2 of those credits to get Crypsis up to strength 2.
Right.
And then 1 credit to break 1 subroutine and break the end the run subroutine.
Right.
And then you would say, well, fire all, but I'd have to fire the other ones. So
Right.
then we would fire the first one, which is that you lose a click if able. But you would have broken the end of the run, so you would have gotten through.
Right. Okay.
Had you had 3 credits, so you don't have to break every subroutine on there, because sometimes there are weird subroutines that actually do well for you. There's some weird ice out there.
Okay.
But as is, I'm going to hit fire unbroken subroutines, and that's going to take your final click,
right,
and end the run obviously boots you out of the server.
Right. But it doing so made you spend 3 credits, so it was
made me spend some money. Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't free, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you know as well. Now you know that there's a code gate here.
Right.
And if you run on your last click, you don't have to pay to break the runner loses a click if able, because you're not able to run. That sometimes running on your last click is a good thing,
right?
But only when you've got perfect knowledge,
right.
On that. Angedello with a good quote in my chat. It's a game about tempo, really.
Yeah.
Running out of money as the runner opens up windows for the corp to score agendas, but scoring agendas is really expensive and time-consuming for the corp.
Right.
So it's balancing that. But yeah, so you're currently at the end turn button, I think.
Right.
There you go. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start my turn.
I'm definitely getting this tempo vibe, absolutely, where it's like you want to stay strong and you want to keep that tempo up, and if you lose tempo, then it's kind of difficult to bring it back.
Because talking of tempo, there, I put this card out and put an advancement token on it.
Right.
In there. Now I'm going to spend my entire turn putting 3 more advancement tokens on it, and then scoring it.
Right.
So that is quite common, is that it very rarely takes. It usually takes 2 turns to score an agenda, because installing it takes a click, advancing it takes a click, and most agendas require at least 3 advancement tokens.
Gotcha. So would you say that's like a fairly standard corporate turn then, to one turn play the agenda and then on the next turn just dump everything into it so that way you can get it?
Often, yeah, it'll be like install advance or install advanced advance if it needs 5 advancement tokens. But it could be install advance advance and it's a trap.
Right.
Now I've got a special thing here, successful field test. When I score successful field test, I can install any number of cards from HQ, ignoring all costs. Ignoring all costs means that if I put more ice out there.
Right.
I'm going to install.
So that means you can put like a bunch of layers of ice if you want to. Oh dear.
You know what? Actually, yeah.
Cook it. Talk about tempo. Yeah, you're not kidding, brother.
Yeah. And this is very HB. HB are good at sort of getting some tempo and being able to do things like this and get advantage of being able to do more with their turn than just the 3 clicks would give you. So now there are 2 cards in there, which means for a fact that one of them is an upgrade. Because you can only ever have an asset or an agenda, never both, one or the other, and only one. But you can have as many upgrades in there as possible.
And you can play an upgrade to an asset or an agenda.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Upgrades tend to be defensive.
Okay.
And there we go. I end my turn.
So that makes it my turn.
So here I am with 6 credits.
What is I see on one of the cards. Oh, is that like a little trash icon? It looks like it's like a little bin with like stripes coming out of it.
Number 4. Yeah, that's it. That means that pad campaign will cost you 4 credits to trash.
This is gonna be strange. I almost kind of want to I want to generate more money with Katie on this turn and then get it next turn. But if I do that, then I'm not gonna really have enough money to do anything else on this turn, unfortunately. And I want to do something. So I think I have no idea. Let's get wild. Okay, let's go ahead and let's use 1 click to take all credits. Then then let's play this bad boy for all the money.
Abnail. Nice.
And then I guess let's go on a run and I'll just use his special ability to bypass your code gate.
Okay, now remember that there is a trash ability.
Right.
So it means that you have to encounter a piece of ice.
Right.
And then you can choose to trash Abnail to bypass, and therefore just go flip around it. But it will mean that you have paid 4 credits to have a one-off bypass.
Right.
On what is, I think there are 2 of in the deck. Of the Abnails. Let me just check. Oh no, there are 3 of. So you have 3 of those Abnails in the deck. So if you think that's worth it, you can go for it.
I honestly have no idea, but I think so. It gets past it though. It doesn't like
it will
destroy the ice.
It doesn't destroy the ice. It will get past it.
I think I'm going to do it anyways. Because
Alright.
I have a little bit of an idea.
Okay, cool. So you approach the ice. We encounter the ice.
Continue to encounter.
So now, if you click on the Abnail card, you should see there's a little macro there that says...
Oh, yes. Bypass code gate being encountered. So I'll click that, which has bypassed it. And then
you've moved down to approaching the server.
Yes. So now I hit access server.
And I say no further actions. And now you get the option to do stuff with Paragon.
Yes.
You've made a successful run with Paragon, so you can gain a credit, and you peek at the top card of your stack and bottom it if need be.
Oh no, I want that one. And
then you access something in my HQ.
Ooh.
Archive memories.
Yeah.
Lovely little number. Allows me to pull a card back from my archives into my hand.
That one is quite good.
Getting cards out of your heap or archives is kind of tricky. And it should be. Really. This game often makes recursion hard. Unless, of course, shape of bullshit.
Right. Okay. So I can't do anything with it because it doesn't have a trash value. And even if I did,
it doesn't have a trash value.
Yeah.
But you've got some more information.
Yes, I do. So I'm going to hit no action. At which point, now I'm going to play Emergency Shutdown.
Shutdown.
Right.
And now you can click on Enigma.
There we go.
Bing. And there you go. I've that 3 credits I spent before. You've now made me waste it because I'm going to have to pay it again if you come in again.
Right.
Boo.
Okay.
Boo.
That was kind of what I was intending, right? So maybe not the most efficient on my part, but now you're gonna have to at least spend 3 more to flip that again, right?
Yeah. Right. Let me think here. Okay, I'm going to go credit, and then I'm going to play IPO. IPO is a terminal operation. Operations are my events.
Okay.
Which means that once you finish with it, you have to end your action for it, which means if I played it in my first click, I would have lost all my clicks. And it basically gets me a lot of money.
Right.
But it's expensive. It costs me 8 credits.
Yeah, so it's an 8 drop, but it costs you your turn, but it gives you +5 from paying it. So that's strong. That's a good card.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, and Dello. I'll see you.
Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna open with Caddy. She's gonna store. We're gonna gain 1 credit. We're gonna play this to get me some more card draw going on.
Nice.
And I think we'll go ahead and
disappointment, like, shit, I've got a click left. I
right.
don't know what to do with it.
I mean, I could gain a credit, or do you think it might be better to up Crypsis one?
I would probably say click for credit.
Yeah, because it seems like as long as you got 1 counter on Crypsis, he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Money's probably a little tears right now. So yeah, you're probably starting to pick out the planning your turn. It is really important.
Yeah. I definitely get the sense that the order in which you do things is almost more important than the actually doing of things.
Yeah. Okay, what am I going to do here? Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm going to play a card that is, and you've got some of these as well, a card that's a double, and it does say as an additional cost to play this operation, spend a click. It costs me a click to play an operation as is. it's saying there's an additional cost of another click. So basically, this is going to cost me 2 clicks, but it's going to draw me like 2 cards and 5 credits. So I get 3 credit bonus there. So that does leave me with 1 fewer click.
Man, but the card draw on that is strong.
But the card draw is really good, yeah. And I can spend that 1 fewer click advancing a card over here.
Okay.
Again, is it an agenda? Is it some sort of trap?
Right.
It's been sitting there for a couple of turns doing nothing.
That's true. And you were very quick to get the other one out, like pretty much immediately too.
Yeah, relatively fast getting that. Yeah, but I did like the install advance in that 1 turn. I took the 2 turns to get a successful field test.
Okay, so and this is gonna get a little weird. We're gonna take all credits.
Yeah.
We're gonna gain a credit. We're gonna play Sure Gamble.
Yeah.
Now I've got 1 click left. You know what? Let's get wild.
Oh, legwork. All right. So, you know what this ice is, so you know that it's not going to do you the worst damage with regards to put the teeth together. It's not going to do you the worst damage with regards to running in your last click. You're making me res it again, which is really good fun.
I gotta start doing something. You got $17 over there.
No, that's right. And yeah, you with the legwork as well. It's definitely why are you hang around saying unimplement? You will definitely will work. So I'm gonna res Enigma. So you continue in to encounter the ice.
So
but now you've got enough cash. Now, if you click on Crypsis, there is a macro there to fully break Enigma. Don't do that.
Does it just not work?
No, that will cost 4 credits because it will break the runner loses a click if able subroutine as well. But you don't have any clicks to lose.
Right,
to make it. So instead, click on Crypsis, and I think there's a macro to match strength.
Yeah, I see match strength.
So yeah, click on that.
Match strength.
And now Crypsis is now strength 2. And now you can click on it again, and there should be a macro to
break 1 subroutine.
Break 1 subroutine.
Perfect. Okay.
And then I think it gives you a pop-up of which one do you want to break. Well, you want to break end the run.
End the run. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. And then
and now
done.
You tell me to fire the unbroken subroutines.
I see. Let all subroutines fire. Would that be?
Yeah, okay. That one. Sorry. And then I press a button that says fire unbroken subroutines. So I force you to lose a click, but you didn't have a click to lose.
Perfect.
So it only costs you 3 credits to get in there, and now you're going to get 2 credits back.
Right.
And you're going to see lots of extra cards. So if you hit pass ice or whatever it is, I forget the wording.
Or sorry, I guess it would be pass ice and continue. There we go. And then access server.
Yeah. Say that. Or you get your Paragon things. You get credit back from Paragon, so that cost you nothing to break that ice. Just cost you 2 credits to play legwork. So here we go. You access archive memories,
and
you can't trash it.
Right.
So you say no action, and then it should take you through the other ones. You've just accessed one of my agendas. So steal that.
Steal. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm on the board, baby. Woo!
You're on the board. Yeah. Alrighty.
Awesome.
And yeah, then you saw another IPO.
Great.
Well, there you go. That was a good run. You it cost you nothing to break the ice because of your fancy game ability in Paragon. You had a good tool for the job in Crypsis. Note that counter's disappeared now.
Right.
You used Yeah, you use legwork, so you
Mhm.
saw 3/4 of my hand. And yeah, you did it at a good enough time to find one of my agendas.
Yes, that was very lucky.
Oh yeah. And you still got 7 credits, which
Yeah.
is pretty good.
I
'Cause you
leveled
probably
out. Yeah.
yeah, because you're gonna need them. Because I'm going to
Uh-oh.
advance this. I'm gonna advance this 3
Oh my God.
times and score it. It's a card called Paper Trail. It is nasty. It is nasty.
Trace.
Because here, when I score Paper Trail, it starts a trace. If successful, it trashes all of your connection and job resources.
Oh no.
Catty Jones is a connection.
Oh dear.
Earthrise Hotel is not, but Catty Jones is a connection. And so this is how a trace goes. If you look at the card, you can see there's some superscript next to the word trace that's got the number 6.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the base strength of the trace. It's a trace. It's a strength 6 trace. I now have the opportunity to put credits into this trace to boost its strength. So I could put 2 credits in to boost it from trace 6 to trace 8. You then will have the opportunity to take your link, which is 0 as Gabe, and add credits to boost the trace up, and you're going to match it for it to be unsuccessful.
Oh, okay.
So that's why if I put 2 credits into this, it will make it a strength 8 trace. You only have 7 credits,
right.
So you cannot beat this trace,
right.
So there's no point putting your 7 credits in there.
Yeah, so there's no point. I
I'm
should just put
afraid
0, right?
So just put 0.
Yeah.
Which means, unfortunately, you lose all of your connections and job resources, which is Catty Jones.
Oh,
if you had
Catty
a bank
Jones.
job on there with 8 credits, that would have gone as well.
That would have been really nasty. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was like the best time for that to happen, though, because Catty didn't have anything on her.
Yeah, it would. I would have loved it more if you'd have had 12
oh my God.
or 16 credits on that. But yeah, as is. There we go. It would have been nice if Earthrise Hotel wasn't a location and was a job, but there you go, it's a location. But yeah, those are traces. That is a really particularly nasty trace at trace 6.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you might find that trace 2, trace 3. And they can do all sorts of weird, wild stuff. Sometimes there are ice that have traces, and sometimes paying into the trace is just is cheaper or just as cost effective as breaking the ice. And it all depends on whether the court is going to put the money into the trace to boost it. Some with ice, often they don't. It's because it's just a tax on you.
Right.
But on something like this, like I could have not boosted it, and you could have paid 6 credits to not lose Catty, and then you'd have been down to 1 credit, and you'd have been on the back foot.
Right.
But I was feeling particularly nasty, and it only cost me 2 credits to trash it. So sometimes this is why the credit differential can matter.
Right. That's a heavy pro con to weigh too, because it's like if you would spend 6 credits, I mean, she has the capacity to give you more, but it would take at least 3 turns, before worth, and man. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and start turn and get my draw going.
You've got another one in there though.
Yes,
I believe there are 2 Catty Jones in that deck.
Oh, really?
Also,
Awesome.
you've got a card called Hostage, which allows you to search your stack for a connection, and actually sort of tutor it out.
So I just drew a card that says when something happens, take 1 tag. What does that mean?
So that's John Masanori. I think
you got
it. I really don't know why they put John Masanori in there. He's this weird thing, but basically it means if you make an unsuccessful run, if your run is not successful, because the ice kicked you out or whatever, then you will take a tag. Tags mean that at the very least I can pay credits to trash your resources, so I could trash your
Ooh.
authorized hotel.
That's nasty.
Yeah, tags can do other things. There are cards out there, not in System Core, but currently they brought back as a little treat before the refresh that's coming now in the next few weeks. But they brought back one that says, "Oh, if you're tagged, take 4 meat damage."
What? Oh my god!
Because that's the card. That's the card that's basically send the boys round.
And is that like? I mean, I'm sure
that's 4 cards sniped out of your hand.
That's so many cards. Is that not just a game winner? Like,
can be. If you end your turn with 3 cards in your hand, or fewer, in fact, because you ended your turn there with
3, or with with the one card.
And if you'd have ended your turn with 1 card in your hand and a tag, and I had that card, which it's not in System Core, but and I had that, you'd have been toast.
Man, that's a hell of a gamble, though. That tag system seems very dangerous. Okay, so
that's why don't run on your last click, because if you get tagged, you can't get rid of it.
Right. And I see remove tag is one thing that I can do with clicks too. Right.
Yeah. Cool. Click and 2 credits.
And 2 credits. Good to know.
Yeah.
So I think John Masanori is gonna stay in retirement for a little bit longer.
He's a liability. The thing is, though, if you make a successful run, it's card draw, right?
Right. But it's like it's not like you can turn him on or off. It's just like if you play it, then this is the truth for the rest of however long he exists for, which seems it's like a pretty big downside. So let's go ahead. Let's do something else. I'm gonna go ahead and So I've got Crypsis out, but if I wanted to use it to break through your ice to be able to, well, I guess theoretically, because I don't know what you're using to guard Surfer 2, so theoretically I would want to use Crypsis, because Crypsis applies to any ice, right?
Is your AI, but you'd probably want to put a virus token on it first.
Right.
So but remember, Server 2 at the moment has an upgrade in it.
Right.
Because the agenda just got scored, so the card that remains logically has to be an upgrade.
Right. So you can have, so the upgrades are persistent across whatever happens with the card that's in that server.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. So that probably wouldn't be super worthwhile to do so then.
Well, it might be worthwhile because upgrades tend to be defensive.
Right.
So trashing it, obviously, does ruins my plans, but you're gonna get through the ice first, and again, am I gonna res any of that ice or anything? That's the question. Now we've got 10 credits. I could probably afford to res it.
Someone in chat is saying, can always play Isolation to get rid of John Masanori. Do I have Isolation?
Isolation is a newer card that you don't that isn't in System Core. But yes, you can. There are there are cards made to trash.
Okay.
You can trash a program if you're installing a new program, because you've only got a certain amount of NU.
Right.
So maybe later down the line you're like, I'm going to trash Sneak Door Beta because I'm just walking into HQ normally anyway.
Right.
But you can only do it as you're installing. You could, for bizarre reasons, not often, but sometimes you can, if you have, say, Catty Jones on the table, you can install another Catty Jones and trash her, the one that was on the table. The only reason you'd want to do that is if you get one of those when you install this card type boons.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, you mightn't do that, but yeah. Otherwise, there are other cards out there that allow you to trash things.
Okay, so I think I'm going to start my turn by placing one virus token on Crypsis,
Uh-huh.
Then I think I'm gonna go ahead and make a run on the archives using my sneak door beta.
Okay. So, yes, I think I will res this card.
Ooh,
It
it's
is
something
Victor
nasty.
1.0. He's strength 4 because he's a Biroid, and all my Biroid has +1 strength. That's my special has Biroid thing.
Right.
So it's strength 4 code gate. It has 2 subroutines. You can spend clicks to break the subroutines, or you could spend money with Crypsis being your only option.
So if I spend money on Crypsis to make it 3 strength, would that what would exactly happen in that context? Would your ice be destroyed at that point?
No.
No.
If you spend the money on Crypsis, you'd have to spend 4 to get up to strength, because it's 4 strength, not 3.
Right.
Because I am stronger together, has Biroid.
Right.
You should see that, like, there's a little number 4
Yes.
overlaid on there. That tells you what the functional strength of the ice is, as opposed to the printed strength. So you'd have to spend 4 credits to get up to strength, 2 credits to break the subroutines. So it's going to cost you a grand total of 6 credits to get through.
I see. So my programs have to be equal in strength, and then once they're equal in strength, then I can do additional stuff depending on what the specific card says.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, then I think what I'm gonna do is I will spend one. I'll spend 1 to break 1 subroutine. I would do that by clicking on your card, right?
Yeah, click on my card, and that should give you the ability to spend your clicks.
So I will go ahead and just the take 1 brain damage just reduces my max size, right?
That'll knock a card out your hand and
out.
reduce your max size.
That's fine, because I'll get rid of John Massanori.
No, it's at random.
I think it's fine. I'll take the or I guess
take the risk.
Well, if I spend my last click to take the brain damage, well, that puts me at 0 then, right?
Mm-hmm. And your turn will be ending, yeah.
So when do tags come into play? So would that be
you? Well, no, that's fine. John Massanori is not on the table, so
right. That's true.
There's nothing out here at the moment that would tag you.
Okay, then in that case, I might as well just break the subroutine fully then.
Might as well.
Okay.
Cool.
And pass ice and continue. Access server. And now, because I did it with the back door, it's popped up, and I want to use Paragon. Yes.
Yeah.
What is this card? This seems incredibly good. I will keep that. No. What's this? Oh, I access Roto Turret. Trash 1 program and the run. Ooh.
Roto Turret goes.
Yeah.
Roto Turret's an odd little bugger because it's a strength 0 ice. So it's like really cheap to break. And it costs 4 credits for me to res. But with the Trash 1 program and the run, if someone hasn't got a Sentry Breaker out, that can be the fun little card that can really ruin someone's day.
Right.
But very situational. Right now, you've got your Fairy on the table, so why would I pay 4 credits for you to break it for free?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Okay.
And it's not a surprise anymore to that.
Right. But theoretically, if you had in your hand an agenda and I had randomly picked it, then I would have gotten that.
You'd have stolen it, yeah.
Ooh, okay, cool. Man, I like this sneak door beta because it's like you going through the archives and then you're able to mess around with like what's actually going on in your hand. Yeah, it's cool. That's neat.
Yeah, it's a great number. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, I like that. I'm gonna draw a card. Oh, you as well. I'm gonna put that out on server 2. Okay, gain a credit. That's fine. That's fine. I forgot that I had to pay a credit to put this piece of ice out.
Oh, right, because it's on the
'cause
one level out,
yeah,
right?
it's one level out, so it costs me credit. Maybe you can guess, knowing about some of the cards that you've already seen me play and seen in my hand, why I was just like, oh, now I'm at 7 credits.
Hmm.
Maybe you can guess what I was trying to do and why I made that noise. But back to you.
You want to play IPO? I got it.
That's it.
All right, excellent. Before we start my next turn, we're about an hour and a half into the stream. Would you mind if I take a quick restroom break?
Of course.
Okay, perfect. I will be right back.
I'll have a quick chat on my stream. How you doing out there, folks? Let's just have a little scroll back through chat. I know Cookhead and Angelo were been having some fun there. I don't know who's still there and who's got bored. This is a fantastic game. Not sure how well it works for watching someone learning, but but yeah, this is great. I'll tell Timbo when he comes back. But there is a fantastic channel. You should all follow the Metropole Grid. He streams on Thursday nights. Some Canadian time zone. Lovely fella, talks for everything. Great way to learn the card pool. But yeah, hope you're all out there enjoying this Wednesday stream. Timbo is top dude, top streamer in our little circle of buds. So if you're not following Timbo, follow Timbo, my lot. If you're still listening to me on Timbo's stream, give me a follow. Love you. Be great. Maybe I should get the guitar out. That could be fun, right? Or maybe I should have gone for a pee as well. Right, actually, while I was at it, there was... just make sure I've got that link that Cookhead shared.
Hello, yes, I have returned.
Hello. I was just talking some shit for a little bit there, and I'm just going to share with you that Discord link.
Oh yes, please do.
Clearance, one that Cookhead shared with us earlier.
Green level clearance?
Yeah, that's the one.
Awesome.
That's a badger.
Cool.
Right. Where were we? Your turn.
Yes, my turn. So we're gonna start.
Awesome things.
Okay. I got 10 credits right now. Wow, I'm rolling in it.
Not bad.
Okay, so you still haven't played anything super new over in server 2 yet. I'm just seeing that one original card there. So
yeah, just that upgrade.
Right. So yeah, so it's safe to assume that that's an upgrade. So I don't feel like I super need to worry about that right now. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to play Job, which is going to net me some more credits.
Easy mark.
Yes. And then I am going to play Damara, which I think is a good get.
Yeah, barrier subroutines. Yeah, all you've seen so far are code gates.
Right.
But yeah, Damara is not too bad. It's not the best barrier breaker out there. Some weird numbers on it. Strength 1.
Right.
It costs 2 credits to add 3 strength, which is this like weird ratio. and 2 credits to break up to 2 barrier subroutines. So if you were to face a barrier piece of ice that was 2 strength and only had 1 subroutine, you would be paying a lot more to break it with Damara than maybe you would with Crypsis and stuff.
Right.
Some weird numbers. Thus, each faction tends to have like one type of icebreaker better than the others.
Mm-hmm.
And criminal, it tends to be the killers that break the sentry
Right.
ice tend to be more thing. Barriers tends to be Anarchs tend to be better with barrier breakers, fractors, and code gates, decoders tend to be a shaper thing.
Right. So
Not always.
theoretically, if I was going up against a barrier that had multiple subroutines and was like at 4 strength, I could dump 4 credits into this thing to get rid of both of those subroutines and affect it.
And get yourself up to strength, yeah.
Right.
And that would be a good balance of stuff.
Right. Okay. So I think we're I got 2 clicks left. I think we're gonna go with the what I did last turn, and I'm gonna go for another run of the archives.
Okay, so remember that is a code gate breaker.
Right. Oh,
That's a code gate ice there.
Right.
But you could spend your clicks to break it, or you could use Crypsis to break it. Kind of expensive with Crypsis.
Right. I wonder if it would be more effective to attack Enigma instead.
I think with you're definitely cheaper with Crypsis with Enigma.
Right.
It's going to cost you either 3 or 4 credits. If you save it for the last click, it'll cost you 3. Otherwise, it'll cost you 4.
I think I will save it for the last click. I think that makes sense. So is there anything else that I want to play preemptively? John Masanori, get out of here. I don't know why I keep looking at you.
well, here's the thing though. John Masanori, like, if you know you can make successful runs, he's not a liability.
That's true.
So
if you've got a guaranteed net,
you you can get into HQ through Enigma. It's going to cost, if you do it on the last click, it'll cost you 3 credits, and you know that you will get a credit back from Paragon. You'll get 2 credit back from Gabe. So you know that a last click run HQ will be free,
right,
and it will be successful.
Right.
So then you get to draw a card with John Masanori. It's not the worst thing,
right?
So long because you know that run will be successful.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So we'll use my my second to last click playing John Masanori, and I can trash this guy at any time, or is that only with programs?
No, you'd have to have special cards to trash it, or get me to trash it.
Okay.
By taking tank. But remember, all you need to do is not make unsuccessful runs.
Right.
And you can make a successful run right now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
/ undo click. Undo dash click.
Undo dash click. Boop. I didn't even think it would let me because I thought I didn't have enough MU.
Oh yeah, it doesn't enforce that.
Oh really?
Too hard. Yeah, it's still not on there. Drag back from play area.
Gotcha. I accidentally clicked on Paragon, and now I have a thing that says set auto resolve to, and it won't go away.
Set auto resolve. That means it'll stop asking you, do you want to use Paragon when the Paragon, because there's never a time when you don't.
Right.
There?
Oh, right. So I always want to use it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some abilities that sometimes you don't want to use them, so that's why they put this question in.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so now on my last click, we're gonna do a run, and we're gonna hit HQ.
Straight in.
And then continue to encounter ice.
Yeah.
And then we will go ahead and use Crypsis to match the strength of Enigma. Yeah. And break 1 subroutine. End the run. Done.
And then I fire the unbroken subroutines.
Little subroutines fire.
Yeah.
And then pass ice and continue. Yeah. Access server. There we go. We're net running, boys. We're doing it.
Yeah, net running. Your net running. John Masanori is going to get card draw. Enigma, Paragon, and Gabe are going to get you that money back from that run. So yeah, you've got.
Oh, and that's super interesting. So Paragon and Jan Masanori actually synergize really well because you can be like, what's going to be the next? If you do Paragon first, you can be like, what's going to be the top card on my deck? If I like that card, John Masanori makes you draw it immediately.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How interesting.
So there, amazingly efficient run there because it cost you nothing. You got a free card.
Yeah, that was great. Awesome.
And you got some more information. Admittedly, the information is that you've seen another roto turret. Have I got a handful of roto turrets?
Right. That's what I'm wondering. You got a lot of turrets in your hand there.
Right. Okay, what are we gonna do? I'm gonna draw one. I'm gonna install a card over HQ. That cost me credit. And then this time I'm gonna play the IPO.
Yep. I was waiting for that. I was like, he's got those perfect little 8 credits waiting there for him.
Yeah. So yeah, now I've got another card in front of HQ. But you've got the tools. I mean, we've already seen as well that you've got hello, big cat. You've got your Damara, not Abnail. So you've got all the tools to hand. So you could probably get through it. Just a case of whether you got the cash for it all.
Right. Okay. Oh, sorry. Start turn. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have 7 to start here. I kind of feel like I want to open with a run.
Opening the run's good because remember, things like Victor and the other bioroids, you can often spend clicks to break subroutines. So if you think, oh shit,
right,
you've got clicks to play with.
Yeah. So
but remember, if you're thinking that Crypsis might be the solution, you do not have any virus tokens on Crypsis at this moment. If you use Crypsis without virus tokens, it's trashed.
I think we're gonna get a little weird here. I think that's actually okay in this context. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's do it. Let's go a run on HQ again. I think
straight in.
Yeah, straight in.
All right. I'm gonna res. Lovely little bit of ice there because it only cost me 1 to res. Cost me 1 to res, but it's a strength 4 ice, so that immediate disparage between the two is fantastic.
Right.
This is a sentry, so
yes,
you could break it with Fairy.
I think I am going to because I don't think. Oh, go on.
This is one now. Look at the subroutine. Trace 3, if successful, give the runner a tag. Sometimes, it might be worth, how much is it going to cost you to break with Fairy, given that Fairy will trash itself at the end of this?
Right.
Versus paying into the trace, as making the assumption that I'm not going to boost the trace up much. Right. Oftentimes with trace-based subroutines on ice, corps don't often pump into it unless they really right. And do I really need to give you a tag? It was nice and annoying, but yeah.
So yeah, because I mean it is definitely a cost-benefit analysis, right? Because if you put the 3 trace on, theoretically that could be less than what I would spend into it, but if you bump that and you have 12 credits, I mean, and I only have 7. So it would be very easy for you to outspend me if you would think that that would be worthwhile on your end if you had something to synergize.
I would if I wanted to make sure that tag landed, I would have to spend 5 credit into the trace.
Right. Meanwhile, I could just, so my fairy program is 2 already, so I can match the strength, and I could match strength with the hunter, which would cost me 2, and then I could break the subroutine for free. So that would only cost me 2 theoretically. Yeah.
But with fairies, you trash them after their use. So
I think
I love fairy. It's great. It's great, but yeah, once it's gone.
Right. I think that's okay, because this is the first entry that I've seen, and I'm assuming that I have another fairy in my deck somewhere.
I think there's 2 fairies and then 2 femme fatales. Femme fatales are really expensive, but have the bypass feature, which is
Cooked says, remember the corpse spends first, you can choose not to, so DJNrrd can waste money.
Yeah, that's it as well. If I pumped in, then you could be like, oh, fine, I'll take the credit because I've still got clicks left, and it only cost me 2 credits to remove the tag.
Right.
That as well.
Oh man, decisions. I think I am just gonna do the simple play though of match strength and fully break the hunter. I think that's what's gonna be my play here. So
yeah, that's fine. So you pay 2 to increase strength fairy to 4. You break all subroutines, which cost nothing. It's not trashed yet because you haven't finished the encounter.
Right.
Because we go to the next stage. We've got multiple ice here. You should have an option that comes through, which is like going to be like pass ice and continue and pass ice or jack out, something like that. Basically, after the first piece of ice, in between either the ice or accessing the server, you always have the option to jack out and say, I've had enough. But that would be an unsuccessful run, and John Masanori would give you a tag.
Right. So for some reason, pass ice and continue isn't lit up. I only see pass ice and jack out.
I think that's because I've got to say continue to pass.
Oh, okay. Then I will continue to encounter ice. Oh, and now the fairy is gone. Bye, fairy. Thank you for your help.
Fairy. It was there. Did its work. So now, you're encountering Enigma. Option to jack out in between, but.
So let me just reference Enigma real quick. So I'm going to match strength and I think I'll go ahead. I'll just match the strength and break 1 subroutine instead of spending the 4 to match strength and fully break, because I don't think I mind losing 1 click right now. I think that's acceptable. So we'll match strength and break 1 subroutine, which is end the run. Done.
So you want me to fire the unbroken ones?
Let all subroutines fire.
So you've lost a click.
I see that.
Ice.
Perfect. Pass ice and continue. Access server. Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. And then we will trigger Paragon first, so that way I can see what I'm getting. I will take that. That's good. And then I accessed another archived memories. Oof. So is that the same archived memories I've seen like 3 times now, or do you just have like?
Who knows? I mean, one thing you could only ever have 3 of a card. Oh, there are some fancy runner card. Sorry, it's a me. Have you ever played Little Misfortune?
Little Misfortune.
It's a point and clicky but more visual novel. We played it on the stream last week. It's actually quite short. Did it in about 4 hours. But one of the she's like this little 8-year-old girl. Something, and one of the things she often says is fancy about stuff, and it's become a meme between us and Hawk. Hawk played it a while back. Hawk loves it.
Oh, I like the animation style. It's very like
it's like really cool animation style and stuff. It's very weird though. It's cool. It's like stupidly dark in places. I had to put content warning up because it went into like such odd dark places with the naivety of an 8-year-old.
Oh,
Just
interesting.
like
I could see that getting pretty dark. Yeah.
yeah, kind of wandering into maybe unnecessarily edgy territory times. But I can dug it. Like there's some interesting stuff going on. But yeah, that's one of several archive memories I may or may not. Maybe you're just being unlucky enough to see the same one every time.
Right. Yeah, which could totally be possible. So now I'm thinking. So I've got a couple of pieces of icebreaker in my hand. I think what I'm gonna do is I think we're gonna get weird. We're gonna get weirder, and we're gonna play another. I had a second Crypsis.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, I'd have probably gone for the and gone for a permanent code gate breaker.
Oh right, that
makes probably cheaper to break. I can look in your heap so I can see the Abnell you trashed earlier. Right, it would cost you 1 or 2 credits to break Enigma with Abnell. It would cost you 4 credits to break Victor with Abnell. Right, if you went through that.
Would you be cool if I undid that click?
you may undo click and put your Abnell. Plus, I think Abnell's 4 credits as well.
Yeah. I gotta remember that the cost of the cards up in the corner is also very, very relevant to what's going on. So yeah, we will do that.
Yeah.
And then
Abnell's like a reasonable code gate breaker.
How much is this guy? I still just a little bit too much.
You might be in click for credit territory.
Yeah.
Unless
I mean, I'm so low on money right now that like I have one other thing in my hand that I could play theoretically, but then what am I gonna do next turn? So I guess I'll just go for the credit. Because then that would have been like all of my money.
Right. What have we got? What have we got? What have I got going on? Oh, decisions around here as well. Okay, I'm gonna play an Archive Memories. I'm gonna get an IPO back from my archives.
Oof.
I'm gonna put another piece of ice in front of archives, and then I'm gonna play an IPO.
Oh my god.
Corpse make money well.
Wow, yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though, that this pad campaign has been ticking over me for ages and doing wonders.
Yeah, at this point you've gained so much money from just being a 2-drop at the very beginning of the game.
Like if you'd have nabbed that either on the turn that I put it out when it was still face down, or the turn after, I would have not got any value from it. The second it's been face up for 2 turns, it started making its money back.
Right.
So sometimes nipping them out quickly, because that one credit every turn, like your Paragon 1 credit for the run thing. 1 credit doesn't seem a lot, but actually, it they'll tick up. Cookhead does love a bit of Abnell as well. Hopes it gets saved in system update. Yeah, that'd be cool. I hope system update isn't too wildly different from Core 2019, which is what we're playing at the moment. As I understand it, I think that they're trying to the decks in Core 2019 were all sort of like perfect 45 card decks for the runners and 49 card decks for the corpse. And I think system update is going to have like a much wider set of cards, so that you can say with just system update you've got some really good variance in deck building, even within your own faction. So be very interesting to see what's on there. I did spot there's a character coming back that had that had been rotated out, but is coming back. Is very interesting. Ayla Rahim. She's got a very interesting power of shaper bullshit. But now Colin Swindon coming back? I love Colin Swindon. Sorry, Cookit is. There is a joke. There's a character who, from the same set, got rotated out. Whose actual name is Steve Cambridge. He's a criminal. But the joke is that because it's just like a very banal first name followed by a British town name. There are gags of flipping about. So Cookit has just called him Barry Milton Keynes. I always call him Colin Swindon.
That's really good. That's very clever.
It'd be like calling him Jeff Boise.
Yeah. Indiana Jones. Or maybe Jones, Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah. And I've been to Boise, twinned with Marlene, and it was fine. It was fine enough time. I was only there for one night.
Man, I feel a little bit stuck because I don't have very much money. My icebreakers require quite a penny.
Yeah, but look at what's happening with me. This server where I did all my scoring before. This is what we call a scoring server. It's got some deep ice on it. It's got this defensive upgrade in it.
Right.
So it's but it's just been sitting there doing nothing. So I've not been drawing into my agendas, or if I have been drawing into my agendas, I haven't been playing them. But you've been running HQ enough that, if I have been drawing into my agendas, then, maybe they're not there.
So Cookit is asking if I want a tip, and they're recommending that I still have a lot of cards in my deck. So are you suggesting that I draw?
I think right now I don't seem to be doing much aside from sort of trying to do little bits of setup here and there. So if I were you would probably be thinking, where are his agendas? They're probably in R&D. Like number one, they're probably in R&D, so maybe you should be digging in R&D. But number two, you don't have that much money, so maybe start trying to dig into your deck to find some money,
right? Or
just even the worst case scenario, 4 clicks for 4 credits.
Right.
Hopefully you can do better than that. Hopefully you can have a good old rustle through and find something. Start with you're looking at your deck.
Okay, yeah. So I think
shuffle your deck, please.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize it shows it to you in order.
Yep.
Oh my God. I can't believe that it shows it to you in order instead of just in a random order. That's crazy. Okay. Man, I did not expect that. Yeah. I'll go with a draw. See what I get. Draw into.
Yeah. Because maybe you draw into that other catty, so you can put the catty down, and then you put 3 credits, and you can start building a bank of money ready for when you see me make that move.
Right.
Maybe you can spend a few turns, or maybe you've got the hostage, and you can use the hostage to bring catty out much faster.
I did get the hostage, so I think I see, because now that you've said that, yeah, it makes sense, because you're clearly prepping for something over on server 2, so I should be prepping as well to be able to attack that eventually.
Get it now.
Right.
Mind myself. Okay, now hostage. Hostage costs a credit. It costs 2 clicks to double on there, but then you can find a connection, like say catty, and then you can install it by paying its install cost. So catty's install cost is 2, I think. Where I'm looking in the wrong place. Cat Jones, is 2. So you can. So if you had 3 credits, then you could install catty on the same turn. But as is.
So theoretically, I would have wanted to start this with. I would have wanted to.
3.
Yeah, I would have wanted to
play
draw.
It with, you would have wanted to play it with 3 credits, but it's okay because it's it still puts it in your hand for the one.
I also see there's this card, Data Dealer. Forfeit an agenda and play for one click and gain 9. I'm not sure if that's really worthwhile right now because I'm already on
Uh,
the back foot.
Yeah. I mean, if there are agendas to waste,
Right,
great.
right. Yeah.
You know, if you've got 4 points of agendas and I've got 2, then yeah, maybe it's worth doing.
Right. But theoretically, you
yeah,
could win the next agenda you play if it's a 3.
yeah, exactly that.
So we'll go with Katie then. We'll go with
Yeah,
Katie.
that's fine. Yeah, but you sadly can't afford to
Right.
get it installed, but it's fine. Again,
I think we'll
it
just...
depends on when I'm gonna make a move, if
Right.
and when I can make a move.
So I think...
Hello, Kaisra. Kaisra, I'm not sure. Hopefully, popped up in chat on my stream. This is a Netrunner stream. Myself and Timbo.
Hello.
I'm teaching Timbo. Timbo's never played before. You can watch us on Multi. If you want to watch me and Timbo the Wizard at the same time. Yeah, I'm just trying to show Timbo the ropes. Trying to get used to this wonderful game.
I think I'm just gonna gain credit on my last turn.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because then I'm guaranteed to be able to play caddy next turn.
Yeah. Okie doke. Right. Well, that's the thing. There's the thing.
I mean, I know naturally, like with the tutorialization, that this is taking longer. But how long does a game of Netrunner normally last?
Maybe up to about 40 minutes. Like, you know,
okay.
Good real pros can like be hammering it out in sort of 10 to 20. I think it's like, you know, when you play competitive, and you would play like both sides. So you know, you play runner, I play corp, then we swap sides, and I play runner, you play corp. I think like competitively, you'd expect to complete that within about 50 minutes on that. But you know, hey, early days, huh?
It's interesting too, because I'm getting almost like a chess vibe from this, because it's like you want to attack, but also you want to be able to give up pieces, but you also want to be defensive as well. It's really interesting.
Okay. I just installed something in this server. So I drew an extra card, I installed something, and now I'm advancing it.
So pretty much like we're like an hour to midnight on the doomsday clock, I feel like.
Again, things learn that agendas that are worth agendas that require 4 advancement tokens almost always worth 2 agenda points. Ones that require 3 advancement tokens are often worth 1. Some of them are worth 2. Any that require 3, any that are worth 3, or almost always require 5 or more advancement tokens.
Okay.
So if I've only advanced it once, if this were a 5-3, then it's going to take me 2 more turns to score it.
Right. So I'm 2 hours from midnight.
Yeah. More than likely, this is like either a 4-2 or a 3-2. Because if you look at the text of Vitruvius, it says you can place a counter on it for each advancement token on it over 3. Vitruvius has this ability that if you over advance it, you get some counters that you can spend on stuff. So that's what I'm kind of, unless it's a trap, it could be a trap. But I'm presenting most likely an attempt at a 3-2 over advancing of Vitruvius, or I'm presenting a 4-2.
So here's what I'm thinking. So I have no idea what your ice is, so I might not even have anything that's relevant to break through the ice, right? Like if you're not using a code gate or barrier, I'll just fail the run.
Yeah, well, if depends what the sentry does. I mean, Hunter there is a sentry, and it just does that tracer attack. You saw Rototerror earlier, which does trash a program and end the run. Sentries don't traditionally end the run. They tend to like tie you up more than anything. But, you know, let's say that we have seen some that end the run.
Right.
Again, remember, I'm has bioroids, so maybe you can spend clicks to get through stuff
That's true. And if that's
on
the
there.
case, then I would
So
want to do it at the very beginning.
yeah, and it all really depends on yeah. Do you feel lucky, punk?
Ooh, I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Or or is
Um,
it like or is it a chance maybe you could let one go?
so okay, so I have this card in my hand that's called spearfishing. When you make a run, when you encounter the innermost piece of ice protecting the server, bypass it. So what I'm thinking, it costs 2. I'm thinking I gain 2 credits. I play spearfishing to access your server 2, and then I just hope that whatever the first thing is, I can deal with it with my remaining 2 credits with my codebreaker.
That's worth a shot.
Okay.
Because yeah, you're right. Innermost ice means yeah, the very last one.
Right.
Yeah, so you bypass it um on there. So yeah, like that's worth a shot.
But that might put me on my last credit too. Oof, man, this is tricky.
Hmm.
I think we'll go for it. Why not? So we'll gain 1 credit. We'll start with gaining 1 credit at first, because if it's nothing I can even do, then well, hmm, maybe the 2 credits would make sense. 2 clicks for 2 credits. Well, but since you're Bioroid, it could be I could just spend clicks anyways. So maybe it would be better to save my clicks and go with that instead. So I guess we'll go ahead and play the spearfishing then, and
All
we'll go
right.
for server 2.
Cool. Okay, so you're now approaching my first server, and how does that cost me? Oh, I've got loads of money anyway. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna res Turing. A lovely little number. It has
Oof.
+3 strength when protecting a remote server. So that base strength of 2 is now 5. So it is a beefy lad.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, you can't use AI programs to break subroutines in Turing. Crypsis would not be your friend with Turing. And that one subroutine is end the run unless the runner spends 3 clicks. So had you not gained a credit,
Right. And then
you
it would be
could have
enough. Then
actually gone, I'll spend 3 clicks to get through this.
right. And I don't
But
have enough.
sadly,
I don't have enough credits to even upgrade my Abagnale
mhm,
to shoot. So I don't think I can. I don't think I can really do anything in this context except for just continue to encounter the ice. At which point my run ends, and then I
mhm,
get, and then I get attacked. Oof.
then you'll get to have John Masnori. I know it's a harsh lesson. You gotta learn them sometime.
Then I guess I go let all subroutines fire.
Okay. So, I think this is fun. Is it asking you a question now?
It is.
Do you want to spend the 3 clicks? I suppose you say no.
I mean, I only have 2, so I literally can't.
No. There you go.
If I
And
really
you've got to.
wanted to, I could have trashed Abagnale. What would trashing Abagnale have done? Oh, I could have bypassed the
Yeah.
code gate.
Yeah, you could have. Now,
Oh.
if you want to do an undo click, take that
Yeah.
back.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Totally forgot about that. I guess that was crooked. Drag that spear fishing back into your hand.
Oh yes, okay. But just go ahead and replay that turn basically the
Yeah.
way it went. So server 2,
Yeah.
and then
Res. And you encounter.
continue to encounter, and then I go bypass the code gate being encountered, and then
Excellent.
because I have the spearfishing, it bypasses that one ice.
It'll buy. I still have the option to res it.
Oh really?
Yeah, because there is possibly there might be reasons I might want to res it, particularly if there are on encounter stuff, although those would be negated because you have the priority. So I'm not going to res it. It's no point me spending money to do that. You've basically done.
Rotaj, thank you for the follow.
Oh, is Rotage following you? There is a name. I don't know them personally, but they are a name of creating fancy decks
Really?
and the like. Yeah, in competition and the like.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I beg your patience. I'm just learning.
Yeah. So we are. This is Timbo's first ever game. I'm trying to gently take them through the ropes, but I'm not doing complete kid gloves. So we're at the point now where this is a very particular thing, and some people can do proper mind games here.
Oh sure.
You have committed to access the server.
Mm-hmm.
I now have a window where I can do things.
Okay. Oh right, but you could play an action. You have this theoretical window, and you could be like, "Am I going to?" Or
yeah. So, but you are committed to accessing the server, and I have seen people do mind games. Are you sure you want to access? Are you sure you want to access?
Oh my god!
And people have bottled it, and it's been just an absolute bluff.
That's hilarious.
Apparently, you have disconnected.
What?
Yeah, it sometimes happens on Jinteki, like goes a little bit weird. If you do like a Control R refresh, you'll probably be taken back to the lobby.
Oh no.
And you'll just want to find the game again and rejoin.
Okay, I see it.
I won't do anything until such a point that I know you.
Yeah, I didn't even see it disconnect on my end. How strange.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. It'll probably bring up the mulligan screen here. Right, I'm going to res this card.
Oh, which is your defensive card, right?
So my defensive card, which says, whenever there's a successful run on this server, trace 4. If successful, the runner cannot access any cards other than this card, Ash, for the remainder of the run. Did I get the timing right on that? Was I meant to res that before? I've forgotten when the run gets determined as being successful. Well, we'll find out. I think I'm right that you commit. I have a window to do stuff, and then the run is successful. Yes, here we go.
Yeah.
So it is a successful run. So all that John Masnorian stuff, you've already done your wizardly stuff there. Now I got a trace 4. I can boost into it if I really wanted to protect it, but you've only got 2 credits. So I know that this is going to be a successful trace. So you can only access Ash. You could pay the money to trash it if you had the money to trash it.
Which I don't.
But at some point you had to see that upgrade. So
right.
It was.
Right. And I still got a card from that too, which is pretty strong. Oh my
you
god,
got
it's expensive.
You got
Holy
credit
god.
Back. Yeah.
This must be the most expensive card in my deck. That's crazy.
Is that Femme Fatale?
Yep, you got it.
So it is expensive, but you can do so if you install it, and then you could say select Turing as the card to Femme Fatale. Every time you encounter Turing, you can just say, I'm paying 1 credit to bypass it.
Right.
Because it's only got 1 subroutine. It is a fantastic card. Much better here later in the game, because now you know what a lot of the ice is, and particularly the ice in my scoring server, and you can see that Turing is a bugger.
Yeah.
And so Femme Fatale into Turing is a good idea. What do I do now?
Kind of that ice, you may pay 1 per subroutine time. Cool. Right, and so that would, it would make it 10, but then I could just bypass the subroutine, which is super good. That's
and every time as well.
Oh,
every
wow.
Time.
So that's a persistent effect. Wow, that's so good.
A persistent effect. I would have to trash the ice, which would mean I would have to install a piece of ice on the server and trash Turing out when I install that piece of ice.
Right.
To get rid of that effect.
Right. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Caddy.
Yeah.
Do you think I should use my last click to store 3 on her as well, or do you think I should? Well, I guess I don't get any.
I think I
credits.
would. You
Yeah.
haven't got any credits. It's, it's a good way to build up the bank.
Seems like a good future turn.
Yeah, because you kind of like, you had to give up on this, whatever this is, but you think it's more than likely a 4-2 agenda.
Right.
And you'd be right. It is a 4-2 agenda. Is it a paper trail, which would trash all connection job resources like John Massanori and Catty Jones?
Oh my God, Catty's going back to the heap. She just got out of it too.
Or is it a successful field test? You're lucky it's a successful field test, the one that says I can install cards ignoring all cost.
Oh man.
I have made a big scoring server.
You have
So,
indeed.
My advice to you is get a lot of money, get all your bits and bobs out.
Yeah, because I feel, you could just theoretically, you could just dump 3 clicks into it next turn and win if it's a one tap agenda, right?
If it's Project Vitruvius 3-2, yeah, that could be game.
Right.
So the risk
But if
we
that's,
take.
if that's the case, there's nothing I can really do about that inherently, right? Like I'm gonna have to attack no matter what, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you've got you know what it'll take to get through tiering. But yeah, what are the other bits of ice? What are your other options on there? I mean, I would, if I were you in this situation, I'd be like, I would honestly be thinking that's sod all I can do about them.
Yeah. That's pretty much where my brain's at. I'm like, I feel like I've cornered myself a little bit.
Yeah. I would be digging through the deck for easy marks and dropping another 3 credits on Catty. Because if it's not an agenda, if next turn I don't put 3 credits on it, then you've got more turns to be putting money on Cat, and you can get her up to 12, 15, 18 credits on there. Because then the time that I present what looks to be the winning agenda, you can be like, poof, and you can just dive in to take 18 credits off Catty Jones, have all your breakers out there, and just go poof and pile on in.
So you're basically recommending I focus on my finances on this turn and bump Catty Jones and just draw to try to get some good stuff.
Draw to try and find like easy mark or sure gambles or anything that can be some sort of money, touch code busting, and say get a click in there to put 3 credits on Catty Jones.
Okay.
So that she's then worth 6.
I think that makes sense. Oh goddamn it! It's another John Massanori. John Massanori. Could John Massanori be useful in this context? I mean, theoretically, if I had a successful run, I could draw 2. But...
No, something we haven't talked about. Okay. Next to Paragon, John Massanori, Catty Jones, and down here on Ash, there's little diamonds next to their name. That means they're unique.
Oh, I see that. Yes, in the title of the card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. You can't have 2 clones of John Massanori tag teaming.
No. John Massanori is not a clone.
Not yet, at least. Or maybe he doesn't know that.
Although, if anyone from Nisei who works in card design, there's an idea.
Yeah.
A clone companion thing that is not unique.
That could be cool, actually.
I'm trying to think if there's... Because there are certainly some cards that have not been unique. You can have multiple ones of that sort of like give you the same effect up to 3 times.
Okay, but John Massanori doesn't do what I really want it to do. So I think I should probably go for another draw to try to get, like you said, get some easy mon.
Yeah. Like easy mark is something you definitely need because it costs nothing, gives you 3 credit.
It's not good, Jim. It's not good. It's another femme fatale.
Oh well. then maybe it's click for credit and click catty for put another 3 on it. And it might have to be as bad as that.
I think you got it, and I think that's my turn. And then I just hope.
Well, you'll be glad to know that this was not an agenda. This is an Adonis campaign. The Adonis Mark III, the very, very key, has Bioroid home assistant. It's an ad campaign for him that basically, it's going to give me 3 credits at the start of every turn.
Wow.
For the next amount for the next 4 turns.
And so that's not good, right? You're gonna be getting like a bunch of money from this card.
It's money, but it's not.
It's not an agenda.
It crucially is not an agenda.
Right. And because of this, because it's going to be doing it for 3 or 4 turns, you can't put anything else into that server, which means that if you were going to basically it's kind of not going to waste per se, but it's not advancing the goal to win the game, right?
If I do, I have to trash it, and then I'm not getting my money's worth. Right. I'm gonna have it out for 2 turns to get my money's worth.
At least, right? Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna draw. Okay. I'm gonna make a server 3. And I'm gonna put a piece of ice over it. Just 1 piece of ice, though.
Just 1 piece, right? So, I think I'm gonna start with a draw because my finances are still pretty low, even with Caddy. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to put another 3 credits onto her before I.
That's it. I mean, you said you got John Masnor in hand, so that's basically a dead card in hand. So if you overdraw at the end of your turn, you'd have to discard down to 5. You could always get rid of that John Masnori.
Right. So let's go ahead and do that. Man, I'm getting dupes of cards that I don't need right now. Shoot.
Sometimes it's just like, nope, click to draw again. And you've got like a handful of like 9 cards and just get rid of all these dupes I don't need.
I think that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Cookhead has gone to grab some dinner, but is rooting for you, bud. He's like, good luck, Timbo.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Would you not run the pad campaign so you can get mass for the draw, Peregrine for the credit, and took a look at the deck? That's a great idea. Good point.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. So it's going to be... So because there's no ice in front of that server, I just immediately succeed on the run.
You just walk in straight off, yeah.
And if I wanted to, theoretically, I could, if I had the 4 credits, I could trash that too.
You could trash it, yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I mean, I don't have the 4 credits, but I think we'll just go on the run at because that seems like a good piece of advice. So let's go ahead and hit server 1. And we'll access, and then we'll trigger Paragon.
Yeah, it's a very good point because
I want that card.
Yeah, the combo of Paragon's Peak and John Masnori's draw makes that, even though it's like a nothing, on paper it seems like a nothing run, you got a credit and a card draw that you knew about and absolutely wanted. So
right. So now,
guessing that was I'm not in your chat, so I'm not sure I gave you that tip.
Well, that was a Rotage.
Rotage, yes.
That was the pro. So
he's got the brains for this. Yeah, because sometimes, like, sometimes there are runs that seem kind of pointless, but there are extra added benefits like that.
Right.
That Paragon John Masnori combo.
Right. Because that's a strong synergy that I should be taking advantage of to get funds for sure, and cards. So now that we've done that, I do have. Now this potentially could be really good. So I think what we're gonna go. Oh, but if I do that, I don't have enough money. And I don't got any clicks left.
Yeah.
Then I think we save. I think we generate more money and we save. Because I got plenty of cards in my hand right now. I'm gonna have to discard down. So I think we'll just gain a credit.
Well, do you wanna instead? You didn't use Catty this turn. Do you wanna
I didn't?
click and no?
I thought I did. Yeah, no problem.
No, you drew a card. You drew a card. You made a run.
Oh yeah, store. Perfect. There we go.
There you
That's what I want to do.
Because now,
Now I gotta
next
discard.
turn, 1 click becomes 9 credit.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. So we're gonna get rid of this extra sneak
Yeah.
sneak door beta and
Yeah.
an extra femme fatale. I don't think I need 2 of those. And I gotta get rid of 1 more.
Oh, the other John Master.
Oh yeah. Get out of here, John.
All right. What's in this other server? Was I sneaking out 3-2? Nah. Marilyn campaign. Mazza. I love a bit of Mazza. This is like the Adonis campaign. Put a chunk of money on it. When you res it, 8 credits, and 2 come off it at the start of every turn. The fun part is with Mazza is that if it's trashed when installed, you can shuffle it back into R&D instead of archives. So if you run the server and pay the 3 credits to trash it, I can shuffle it back into R&D.
It's a recurring
if it's
ad
face
campaign.
up there. Yeah, great. I love a bit of Mazza on there. So start turn, boom, and I get all the money from the things there.
And so you're going to be generating like 5 currency from both of these campaigns for like 3 turns.
Yep, that's
so
it.
good.
And plus my pad campaign, just give me that little one every turn.
And you've got like your economy sorted.
Yep, and I've still got things like this blue level clearance out there, and. And then I'll plonk something in server 2, trashing the Adonis campaign. I just trashed 6 credits worth of something. So I got my money. I got like 2 credits profit off the Adonis campaign because I managed to take 6 credits off it when it cost 4. But I just trashed it in the middle of the campaign.
And see, to me, that tell me if my instinct is wrong, but to me that's a red flag because you had much more money that you could have made off of that, and instead you decided to trash it in like your highest security server.
Yeah, so I trashed it in my house, but I'm like pretty flush for cash. So
right. So to me that implies that that's probably something that I don't want you to have.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna open the turn. I don't even know if this will work as a Hail Mary, but basically what I'm thinking is, so I take the money off Caddy, and then I have another legwork, which I would do to make a run at your HQ. I could bust through it with the money that I have, and then I would be able to look at the cards in your hand, and if 3 out of the 5 cards, if you had an agenda or 2, then theoretically I might be able to make bank off of that. But that's a pretty big gamble. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's a good Hail Mary. So,
right.
do you think you're going to be able to get through this big server? Is the question. Now, you've got something in there that I seemed eager to put in. So, what? Maybe a 3-2. Maybe we're thinking it's a 3-2. So, now we've got that ash as well at the bottom, which will stop you accessing it. So you need to somehow end the run with at least 4 credits, if not more. We've got these 2 unknown pieces of art. So, what trickery have you got in your hand for maybe dealing with the Catty Jones? I mean, it. To be honest, like you take 9, so you have 11 credits.
I mean, I do have
You
a
got
data dealer, so if I wanted, I could trash my only victory point for 9 more. But I feel like at that point, I'm like the holes in the boat I'm starting to capsize, and now I realize that my bucket also has a hole in it too.
It does. Yeah, for the fact that if you still had your abnail out, then it might not have been so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you just have your Damara and your Sneak Door Beta,
right,
makes it feel a bit tricky. But there's also the fact that what if you came in through archives, forcing me to res again, or you've not even poked R&D,
right.
forcing me to try and res stuff elsewhere, so that maybe I can't res stuff over here. But again, with only the 9 credits and 4 clicks, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be very, very tricky.
Yeah, because if I want those 9 credits, I'm gonna have to spend one of my clicks anyways, right?
Yeah, to get the credits. So yeah, like your better Hail Marys are probably, as you say, the leg work, because you've got the known quantity here of the ice, and the maybe R&D on there. But have you got a way to get through the Enigma before you play the legwork?
I do have.
That is a code gate.
Right, exactly. And I do have Crypsis, but that's another $5 reduce already. I mean, that could work, but then I would also have to buff Crypsis, and that would make it at least 7 to be able to be strong enough, and then an additional one, so 8 in order to be able to prevent the ending of the run. And that's like basically all of my money. Man, this is tricky. Yeah. I mean, I don't really feel like I have. I mean, well, I do have this Femme Fatale in my hand as well, which I could theoretically use on the Turing, which would basically neuter that to the point of not having to worry about it anymore. I think.
That does cost a big fat 9 credits.
Right. And then I don't even know what's behind your other eyes too, right?
Yeah, what are the other ones?
Because it seems like the Hail Mary wouldn't necessarily work unless I went through. But the Victor is a code gate as well. Shoot.
You can spend clicks on the Victor.
Oh, but you can spend clicks on Victor, right? Right. Okay. So I think.
But what you can't do is legwork and use Sneak Door Beta.
Right, because it makes a run on the HQ.
Yeah, because legwork, the text specifically says,
right,
to make a run on HQ. So you have to come in through the front door. It is a bind of where's your Hail Mary going to be? Maybe it's R&D.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know what's going on in R&D. Do you think it would be better to just to bring out Crypsis with the intention of using that to break down whatever shows up in R&D?
I mean, maybe just taking the money and face planting R&D. So here's a thought: 20 cards in R&D.
Right.
2, 4, 6, 8 points. 8 points of agendas out. I've got 6. You've got 2. So 8 points of agendas out. Remembering that we need to have what is it?
7.
Let me go to my deck builder. 7 to win, but no, that actually 20 to 21 agenda points within the deck.
Oh, okay. So it stands to reason that maybe your deck is currently loaded with agenda cards.
Like, yeah, R&D, there's a good chance that even by accessing just one card from R&D, that you could get lucky and you could get, like, we haven't seen any of the 5/3s priority requisition, which is a fantastic, it wins games for runners. I will tell you that so yeah, if there are 8 points out there, so there's another 12 points to be found. Usually things like the 3/2s are usually 3/0s. So what, maybe you're thinking this card in here is another Project Vitruvius as a 3/2. So that would mean there's another for 12 points. And then, that would mean that there would be maybe 2 5/3s and one more 2-pointer in the deck for 8 points. And another Vitruvius. So we can start thinking about that. And with only 20 cards, it's quite likely. So maybe what might be worth doing is take the money off Catty, face plant the wall of static, take it on the chin for what it is. Maybe you've got everything you need. Maybe
it won't be necessarily super nasty as well.
Maybe it's another hunter.
Right.
Maybe it's something.
Maybe it's another Victor that I can spend clicks on. Okay. Okay.
Maybe you could be lucky to top deck that, because if that seems like, because the setup you would need to do to get the legwork in HQ
seems like
and the money spend
seems
a lot. Like I like it. You would have to try and you just got to get through the code gate, because maybe you take the tag.
Right. Okay. I think that makes sense. So we're gonna take all the credits off of Katie, and then we're gonna make a run at R&D and hope we can top deck it.
All right.
Let's see it.
I'm gonna rest wall of static. That's a barrier. You have a barrier breaker.
I do have a barrier breaker. Awesome. Okay. So I will go ahead and continue to encounter ice. I will click match and fully break. Well, what does wall of static do exactly? It just ends the run.
Just end the run. End the run subroutine.
So then we'll go ahead and match strength and fully break the wall for 4.
That's
access server. Okay, great.
And if you're really, really spawny at this point, you get to do your power control Masanori stuff.
That's good. I accessed Ash.
I mean, you could trash that Ash, but Ash is unique and there's already one right. So that's kind of dead draw for me. But if you trash it, do your maths. If you can afford to trash it, then you can afford to come back in again and see another card.
That's true.
Or have you got the money to then do your Hail Mary into HQ?
I don't think I have the money to do the Hail Mary at this point. I think I've, because I didn't draw like an easy gig or any money. Yeah. If you run last click, you can use the trash ability on the icebreaker.
There's another good point. Yeah, you've got the Damara. Yeah, you could.
I could do it again for free. So you can run R&D 2 more times. Right, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, so we'll pay to trash, so that way we can just keep hoping. So trash that guy. Then we'll run again. We'll run R&D once more.
So you've got encounter. So again, so you can afford, like, Damara's not got, like, it costs you 4 credits to break one subroutine. It's not great with Damara. That's what happens, but yeah.
Right, but then the next time I do it on my next click, when I make another run at R&D, I can just trash the barrier instead. I don't even have to worry about juicing it. Cool. I'll do that.
Cool. All right, pass ice.
That's a hot tip, Rotosh. Hot tip.
Rotosh is definitely going to have all the hot tips for you.
Yes. Aggressive secretary? It's an asset. Oh, okay, so but it's not anything I want. So I'm just gonna play 0 to trash it. Go away.
Oh, there you go. Oh wow, yeah. Now that's the one that you can advance. It's the advanceable trap, the aggressive secretary. If you pay 2 credits when the runner accesses aggressive secretary, trash 1 program for each advancement token.
Oh man,
Great.
that's
Well,
a
that's great.
nasty trap.
Yeah. But there you go. You've just trashed 2 cards at the top. You've got 1 credit left. There are 18 cards in the deck. Maybe you can find a 5/3 and get yourself up to 5 agenda points. And maybe what I've got in here might not be the game winner. Probably is. But I mean, give it a go, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like basically at this point I don't really have any other choice. This is the best likelihood of me succeeding.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And very very occasionally, not in this, very occasionally there are cards worth 6 agenda points.
Really? Wow.
There's one. You're only allowed 1 in your deck. And it is not in this format.
So, and then we will bypass.
Yeah, there you go. No further actions.
And I can't do anything because it's not a agenda.
Oh, wow. Man,
That's-
they're really buried, huh?
That's really unlucky. You would have, that was
Yeah.
like there's 12 cards in the deck left that were agenda cards, right? I mean, well, maybe you have some of them in your hand, but like that's like around a 50-50 chance, right? Like
there's about four or 5 cards left.
Oh, okay. So about 25% still.
But yeah, it's a good chance, and the fact that you hit assets that were cheap enough to trash off the top, that would have been good. Like if you'd have had like 4 points, that would have been like a good attempt at the Hail Mary.
Oh, definitely.
On that. Oh, what did you get? Oh, another Adonis campaign, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Now, it is time to show you what HB are all about. Because this is a card you didn't see in any of the times. It's been in my HQ for some time, but you didn't see Biotic Labor for 4 credits.
Wow.
And a click. I just gained 2 clicks, so now I have 4 clicks.
Wow. That's really good.
Yeah. Now this would be the point. If I had a Vitruvius in hand, I could install it and advance it 3 times, and get an agenda out in 1 turn, which exceptionally rarely happens, unless you got a card like this. Cost 4 credits, so it means that it costs you 7 credits in total to do what they call fast advance, where you get the agenda from your hand and advance and score it in 1 turn. I instead had to install a 4/2 agenda and leave it in that server, but then now that allows me to put my 4 advancements on it there and score it. It does a trace that then you can't beat to trash your John Lasnor and Cat Jones, but puts me to my agenda points in the game. So there you go. You get this lovely little screen up as well to see how broadly efficient you were. Like, clicks gained is basically, how many clicks you gain through the turns. Credits gained, credits spent, credits by click. How many times did you click for a credit compared to, getting it from cards and stuff? How many times did you click to draw cards? So obviously, if you can, the fewer times you do click for credit, click to draw a card, the more efficient your deck is there. Right. Runs made 13, cards access 13. So all of your runs there, were generally quite successful. On there, you saw, on average, you saw a card for each run. Right. But yeah.
Oh, and that's interesting too, because I did legwork a couple of times and it showed me extra cards. Even though my runs failed, it still kind of balanced out in the end.
Balanced out for you, yeah.
Fascinating.
Or for actually, well, I think some of the, you did the run with the bank job,
right?
Against the pad campaign, you didn't access the card, you took the money off bank job. But yeah, that's interesting. But turn 16, 154 minutes.
Yeah.
bit of a long game there. But you know, hey, it was your first one. But yeah, I think like you're getting the ideas behind it there. You know, a great description I once heard was the corp is building a puzzle for runner to solve.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because it's like, I don't know what I have to deal with until I've dealt with it at least the first time, right? And then once I've dealt with it, then I can make plans and such. But until I've actually, because I was like a little hesitant to even make runs whatsoever. But it seems like making runs that you know might fail is important, because then it exposes what the corporation has planned, and then you can counter plan for that.
Yeah, so, I mean, sometimes first turn, first click, fuck it, just run into something.
Right.
Because you gotta kind of think about what's the worst thing that can happen. I'll tell you what, I will show you. There is a command I can do here called res all, where you can see.
Whoa.
Get a really loud noise of everything resing. But you can see all the ice I had, and you know how much like those cost benefit things. So you know, if you take like say Hunter, which is that first one in front of HQ, only cost me a credit to res. But then what happens with that? Well, maybe you get a tag, or maybe you pay into the trace. You know, three credits to pay into the trace is probably better than a click and 2 credits to remove the tag later. And if you don't have the money, but you ran first click, then you can like credit, remove tag with the rest of your turn. So you know, smack into Hunters and work, smack into Enigma. All right, you lost a click and you end the run. Wall of Static, end the run. Rotor Turret is like really annoying if the trash to program thing fires, but if you don't have any programs installed, I've just paid 4 credits to end the run. It's just then like and like with, let's say with HB, you can spend the clicks. So Victor, you can spend the clicks to get through.
Right.
What else is on there? So one of the big ones there, though, Itchy is a really like annoying one.
Yeah.
It's a strength. But it
nasty.
costs 5 to res. Yeah, that's the thing. But we're now getting into a barrier where the res cost, once you get over like when you get to about 5, the effects are a bit nastier.
Yeah.
So if I'm there and I've got 2 pieces of like my opening turn, 2 pieces of ice, 1 R&D, 1 HQ, and then click for a credit, I had 6 credits. Am I going to res Itchy and put myself down to 1 credit? If you ran on your first click, and I did do that, I mean, well, number one, not much point really. You wouldn't have had any programs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the trace is a trace 1, which you could have paid into. I wouldn't have been able to, you know, would have been unlikely to boost it to give you attack and brain damage. So it might not necessarily be worse. So yeah, running early without your programs, so long as, you know, the worst thing that will probably happen is that you might lose the cards in your hand.
Right.
But you can always draw for more cards. Just running early to force me to spend money, getting me on the back foot, so I'm spending my money sooner.
And it probably would have been smart for me to open with running much earlier and more frequently, because I had that I had the card where it was like, whenever at the beginning of your turn draw 2 cards, and then I also had the bank job too, right?
Yeah, you had some, you know, you had some good ways to get the money out. I think like there were things like sometimes putting out your breakers beforehand, before finding out what the corp has got. Yeah, it depends on how well you're doing on your temp and your money.
Right.
I'm just having a look, like, and the next card was priority requisition. There were there were 4 more agendas in the deck, and the next one was a priority requisition.
Man, so it was like my Hail Mary almost worked. It was like like this close to at least getting me another agenda point, at least one more.
Yeah, well, you could have got yourself up to 5. I think there was that point, you know, there were a couple of times when I slowed down again, And I wasn't presenting any sort of scoring threat, and those are the times when you should, definitely trying to get the money up. Like if you can get Catty Jones out,
Yeah.
having like using her to build up a good little bank of supply. If you can get her up to like 12 or
Right.
15 credits,
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
great.
I undervalued Caddy Jones. I feel like if I had put a little bit more forethought into it and be like, yeah, I should just have her activate a bunch of times and get a huge amount of money. That would have been good theoretically, but then you played that one card that was like destroy all your contacts.
Yeah, that one is that. Yeah, that's a nasty one. It is absolutely nasty because the Trace 6 as well. Really,
Yeah. Oh man. So it's like you need to
um,
have some money at that point already, otherwise you're just
yeah,
gonna lose all this banked money as well.
and that's it. And Paper Trail as well is a neutral agenda. So in the system core format, this agenda is in every corpse deck. There's only 2 of them, but they are in every corpse deck. So you want to be stealing them if you can,
Right.
or trying to make sure that you got the cash up, so that if you did have to let it go. But then again, if you had the cash up, you could probably run into God to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the swings and the roundabouts of it. It's probably doubly bad because like if I'm scoring that out because you haven't had the resources to deal with it, and then I trash away the resources that you just put in, it's a double spit in the face.
Right. Yeah, because at that point you've spent money to bring Caddy out, and then you've also put clicks into her, and then it's just like, and now she's gone.
Yeah. But I'm glad you got like a bit something at John Masanori. I always worry about John Masanori as a liability
For
because
real.
of that thing of like unsuccessful run, take attack.
Right.
But if you think about your turns, you go for the successful runs that are value for you. And yeah, as Rotage said, with that little combo, I didn't even think about that combo of Paragon and stuff to make a run on an easy server like the Pad campaign, to turn it into a credit, a peak, and a draw.
Right. Because theoretically, I could have done that like three. I could have done like 2 or 3 times on one of my turns, and I would have generated a huge amount of cards and insight and stuff, which would have been could have been potentially really strong.
Yeah, could have been. And I never even thought that before because I always think of John Masanori as a liability.
Yeah.
But that's why Rotage is. That's why Rotage. He's got a brain for it. So yeah. So I would say definitely from you. If you got the bug, I will definitely play with you again on stream or off.
Yeah, definitely.
You know where to find me. So anytime. But also here on Jinteki, let's say if you if you start a game, put it to system core, select. There are so to show them on screen here, there are a few supported formats that you can play, and you might see people playing. There is standard, which has a certain card pool out there, and I think I sent you this link in the supported formats link in Discord.
I believe you did. Yes. Yes, I see the link.
Yeah, it'll tell you that it says which card packs are legal, and it also tells you which cards are banned for each type, because there are some very powerful cards out there. And the Nisei.net, keep an eye on them, follow them on Facebook or Twitter, and you'll find there'll be updates about when they tweak the ban list and stuff. But yeah, standard is like the one that will be used for most competition of organized play and what have you, and what a vast majority of people will play. There is snapshot, which is basically how all the legal cards when Fantasy Flight finished supporting the game. So if you're not fussed with Nisei's new cards or anything like that, and you just want to play old Netrunner, which some people were like, well, it's like, well, here you go, there's snapshot. People, you can play it the way that it was left. There is Eternal, which is basically all the cards, including all the ones that were rotated out, with a very light ban list on there. That Snapshot has a different format of stuff where there's a ban list and a restricted list. The restricted list being that out of that entire list, you can only have one of those cards, not one of those cards in your deck. You know, if there's a card that's you can have three of the strongest piece of ice, but you just can't have the strongest piece of ice and that really strong asset.
Right.
You can have one or the other. So that's what the restrictions. There's Eternal, which is everything, and then there's Core Experience, which is just these cool things. If you mark your game in Jinteki as Core Experience and say, "Oh, beginner," on that, you will find someone will eventually join you who will generally be quite nice. Cookhead gave us that link to Green Level Clearance in Discord, where you can find some friends and stuff out there who will happily take you through some stuff. There are some lovely people out there. And then I would say tonight, even I only know what time it is UK time usually. So it's about 1 a.m. UK time, which for you would be,
I think that's about 5 hours 5 hours.
Yeah, 5. You're Eastern, aren't you? So
be like 8.
8. That's about right. There's dude on Twitch and YouTube, the Metropole Grid. Guy called Andre, who is the loveliest guy ever. I mean, he's Canadian. But he's got he really explains everything that he's doing, all the cards, talks sometimes quite fast, and sometimes it's a bit like, whoa, what's going on? But it's fast and soft, so it's a little bit ASMR-y. But if you just watch it, you can really start to get a feel for how people play the game, who are really into it, and start to just learn by osmosis.
Right. Definitely.
On there. Been watching his stuff for years, on and off. And it's great. And he'll do a stream for about 3 hours of stuff on Thursday nights.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with this game, it feels like it's one of those types of games where it's fairly easy to pick up the rules, but then the way that each scenario plays out and the way that the cards interact with each other makes it feel like there's a lot to master. It's a very wide pool of skills and knowledge to be able to not just know, but also to be able to be yes, and now I will apply this idea here, right? Like with the John Masanori and the Paragon synergy, I didn't even think about that, and then I just played it and I was and these two work really well together, right?
Yeah. There's always, sometimes wild combos people never thought of before with some old cards, and people are what the hell? And then sometimes obviously some non-bows out there, and then new cards, everyone's looking for some combos. There have been some very tricksy decks out there. There are corp decks that can potentially score all 7 points in one turn because they're that wild and tricksy.
That's crazy.
You've got to do some hellish work to get it up there.
Sure.
I love a bit of Shaper bullshit, and there are Shaper has much better ways of bringing your programs and your breakers and having them come out to play while you're in the middle of the run.
Oh, interesting. That sounds because that was kind of what I was thinking. I was I feel like I'm a little stuck as soon as I start the run. I want to be able to change things up on the fly. So I'll have to check Shaper out. And the next time we play, I want to try playing as the Corp because I can only imagine how much of a different experience it is.
Definitely, you want to be. You definitely want to sit the other side of the table for one of your next games, probably. So I would say, I mean, as Bioroid here. It's mostly about trying to get these ice out, trying to get these strong Bioroid ice out, and looking for your efficiency and looking for, turns where Biotic Labor is a very key card there that you can when I've got the money for it. Here we go, Biotic Labor from fast advance out of Vitruvius, or what have you. But the Has Bioroid's probably a good one that's relatively straightforward, as is the Wayland one, which definitely has some of the more punishing cards. Jinteki is I mean, Jinteki is definitely the one for bastards. I have a friend. I have a friend who is a bastard. He's a lovely, lovely, lovely fella, but he's a bastard to play games with. He is a devious, devious man. And he does, and he likes Jinteki because they often do lots and lots of damage. A lot. There is a particular deck archetype called Potatoes because it just throws potatoes at you. And just you don't need breakers or anything like that. You just need cards in hands as hit point often with those. And then NBN, the media company, it's almost always about traces and tags and stuff, and they can be like, right buggers when they need to. So yeah, there's lots of like different play styles and stuff out the different corps. But yeah, definitely play a corp. I think maybe HB Wayland probably like good starting ones to try on. And yeah, like I say, we're between green level clearance and just sort of like saying, oh hey, new player, and like I say, give me a shout anytime.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for showing me the ropes and graciously, you know, settling me into the different mechanics and stuff. I feel like I have a fairly good grip of it now, so I feel like I could probably go off and play on my own, but I probably wouldn't win. But but thank you for showing me and tutorializing, because like that tutorial that I watched, it was good, but like this has definitely helped increase my knowledge base quite a bit more than just like the kind of like sterility of the video, right? Because the video felt very like this is how it would play out in a perfect world, right? Like
I'll tell you what's some good watching as well is Team Covenant. They're a friendly local game store somewhere in Arizona, maybe, I think. I don't know why I've got Arizona in my head. But they did, so a few years ago when they did the revised core set, they did a bunch of videos that were sort of like how to plays, how to deck build, and they did like a series of games with the revised core set, and playing like lots of the different factions and stuff. They've kind of like after FFG stopped supporting it, they stopped doing content on it because they are a game store, so they're doing content on the stuff that they can sell.
Right.
So they moved on to various other things, but that content's still up there on YouTube. And like, yeah, you just sometimes they're just nice, relaxing dudes.
Sure.
Talking about something they love, and sometimes just the ASMR of just like relax. It's why some I listen to podcasts before I go to sleep. It's just like relax people talking about things they love in a relaxed environment relaxes me, and I fall asleep.
Sure.
But it's just nice and relaxing, and hopefully you'll pick it all up by osmosis. So yeah, look for the Team Covenant video. I think like if you do YouTube and go how to play Netrunner, it'll be the second one on the list there for you. But yeah, there's lots of great resources. Metro Grid, he'll be on tonight. Andre, he's great. Yeah, you got the Green Level Koreans Discord and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great, and it's been fantastic. It's been nice to do this and have some other little random stream.
Definitely. This has been a lot of fun. I don't have like, I mean, if you ever wanted to, like, I don't know, do something. I know you do mostly point and click adventures, which I think is awesome. I love point and click adventures. But if you ever wanted to do some co-op other thing or another Netrunner game, I definitely want to do another Netrunner game.
Definitely up for more Netrunner, and yeah, maybe at some point we'll find some crazy co-ops we could do
for sure
over the internet. That'll be funny. Or just maybe join us for some Monster Prom again.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun.
weird goth dating. It's always fun. But yeah, nice and Timbo. I'm going to end my stream there. I'm going to say thank you to everyone. I see Potato and Rooster have been lurking as well. Hope you enjoyed everything there, and just join us in the Discord. Maybe we can get Rooster and Potato to play some games as well. Could be fun.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're not following DJNrrd, I highly recommend go and check him out. He's a cool guy.
Likewise, Timbo. If I'm just going to do a shout out in my chat there, Timbo.
It's a good idea.
There we go. Oh, hello, Rotage. Rotage is now following me on my channel. Hello. Yeah, not often Netrunner, but more than often point and clicks. Currently Discworld, which has been very frustrating. But yeah, I didn't spell Timbo the Wizard right. There's an A in Timbo the Wizard, but never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna knock my stream up here for now. I don't know if you're gonna be cracking on with anything else.
I'm just gonna do some shout outs and I'm probably gonna end as well. But this has been great. I'm gonna probably jump out of the Discord call. But thanks again for the tutorialization. That was a lot of fun. Thank you.
No worries. Nice one, Timbo. Enjoy yourself, and I will catch you soon, bud.
Yeah, you too, brother. You too. Have a good night.
Cheers, everybody. Good night.
Later. Alrighty, guys, that was a great stream with DJNrrd. Thank you to everybody who followed, Rotage and Cookhead for the follows during the stream, and everybody who watched. I meant to do it at the beginning of the stream, but I forgot. I want to give a shout out to everybody who followed while I was offline over the past couple of days. The Knights of Bantam, int_Master over Space, DM Chronicles, Lisbeth, and K Wheels Rocks. Thank you guys so much for the follows as well. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I'm still grinding towards that affiliate goal, so if you enjoyed the stream today, please feel free to drop a follow. I'm well, now I'm 6 away from affiliate status, or at least being eligible. So any follows would be deeply appreciated, and you have my thanks. I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 5 p.m. And I do just all kinds of stuff. Today was thank you, DJNrrd. Thank you. I do all kinds of stuff. Today was my first time playing like a card game like this on stream, and it was a lot of fun. Really good time, and especially with the excellent tutorialization by DJNrrd. Again, thank you so much for that. That was great. I'm looking forward to the next match. Maybe I'll be able to inch it back, but probably not. But yeah, I should be live. I should be live Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, so come by. I have no idea what we're playing yet, but I downloaded Day of the Tentacle because I was talking about it last time, and I was like, I haven't played this, but I hear it's really good. I hear it's a modern classic, so I'll probably end up diving into that. But again, I just want to say thanks to everybody who followed, everybody who tuned in and watched and supported. I appreciate all of y'all. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day and evening, morning, what have you. And I will see you next time. I'll be here Friday. So thanks again, and take it easy, everybody. All right, so long.